but only one will walk away with a championship today. Hello and welcome into Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University, along with my broadcast partner, Jack McInerney. I'm Marshall Harris. We get you ready for two teams who have plenty of experience. They've definitely been here, done that. That would be Wilmington's Jeff Reince going up against Maroa-Forsyth's Josh Jostis. Now, between these two guys, they've got 58 seasons of coaching experience. They've got 544 combined wins, and they have 5 state titles. That last number, it goes up by 1 today. Should make for a great matchup.
No doubt about it. Both of these teams are very successful. The programs have been great for the last 15, 20 years. The only thing we're going to see different today is a contrast in offenses. You're going to see the same thing as far as success. One team likes to open it up and throw the ball with the spread. The other team likes to keep it close to the vest with the double wing T, and that's Wilmington. They love to run the ball. Maroa loves to throw the football.
Let's take a closer look at the run to how these two teams got to normal. Let's start with Maroa-Forsyth, not too far south of here, so didn't have too far to go. And then Wilmington is to the northeast of here, so not too far for the Wildcats either. But certainly both these teams happy to make the journey and happy to finally be on the precipice of another state title. We will take a timeout. When we come back, kickoff. Get you ready for the game. It's Wilmington. It's Maroa-Forsyth. It's the 2A state championship game.
Illinois Farm Bureau is a proud sponsor of the IHSA Football State Finals. IFB's advocacy, information, and development provide Illinois farmers and AG professionals an advantage. Discover your advantage by contacting your County Farm Bureau today.
Dental and vision coverage through Delta Dental of Illinois. Get a plan that fits to a T.
Have a cough, sore throat, or fever, or need care now for pink eye, a urinary tract infection, or a rash? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Get care in person, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, even holidays, and walk out with a prescription for your care if needed. Make a reservation today or start a virtual visit 24/7. It's just that easy. Find a location near you. osfoncall.org/urgent care.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
Dental and vision coverage through Delta Dental of Illinois. Get a plan that fits to a T.
It's the 2A state title game between Maroa-Forsyth and Wilmington, and we are just moments away from kickoff as both teams run out on the field. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. They're brought to you by Southern Illinois University Carbondale. Say yes to SIU, and for Maroa-Forsyth, they want to stay in charge.
Well, they do because they spread the ball out, but they want to stay in charge because Wilmington is such a good team controlling the ball. And Wilmington, of course, they've got to contain the quarterback. That's Ryan Shepard, who's just an outstanding passer out of that spread formation.
Getting ready for a kickoff here. Maroa-Forsyth won the toss, and the Trojans chose to receive the opening kickoff. So we're just about set to get underway. And for Maroa-Forsyth, it will be Troy Pulliam who will kick things off. The tight end, you're going to see a lot of him today on both sides of the football. And back to receive for the Trojans, Braden Lee.
This is going to be really interesting to see the two clashes of offense, the two extreme differences.
And back to receive and pulling it in at about his own 15-yard line. Now working his way back to the near sideline before finally being taken down that time. And that's where they will start. Maroa-Forsyth after the Caden Blanc return.
Good shot there. Ryan Shepard, a record holder, throws the football like crazy 292 times during the season, 211 completions for 3,191 yards. And folks, listen to this. This is not a mistake. 41 touchdowns. Wow.
It's not even the 41 touchdowns that gets you. It's the 2 interceptions in comparison, as they'll come out in the shotgun and already a flag and a false start. A little jittery here to start this 2A state title game.
Well, that's the scenario there. This is a big game, obviously, for both teams, but not the start you want to have.
Still first down. So they'll move back. It's still first down, 1st and 15 now from their own 20.
But the way they throw the football, that 5 yards is no big deal. To some teams, it would be.
Now operating out of the shotgun is Shepard. As a man in motion, he'll keep it himself, and he has nowhere to go as he's stood up that time by Declan Morin. So take a look at today's starting lineups presented by OSF Healthcare. And Shepard is the focal point of this offense. Look out for Caden Birmingham as well. He's been known to cause some trouble on the outside.
They run a lot of different formations and a lot of different looks, but the big thing is that Ryan Shepard is also one of the leading rushers on the team.
Shepard now having some trouble, forced to his right, throws it down the field, not out of bounds, and just gets rid of it as the onslaught was right there, and the pressure comes from Zach Olin. You'll be hearing his name a lot. Captain linebacker for Wilmington. He comes shooting through.
Well, this is what they want to do. They don't want him to find a comfort level where he feels very comfortable either sitting in a pocket and throwing the football downfield. That's his forte, and that's what Wilmington wants to take him out of. They want to take him away from his strength and force him to maybe scramble, throw the ball on the run. Keep in mind, he's an outstanding runner, so, you know, pick your poison, I guess.
So now 3rd and long here. And here comes the blitz. The screen is the perfect answer, and getting up the field all the way out to the 34-yard line.
Short.
He's going to come up just short of the first down that time. Caden Birmingham, the aforementioned nice little wide receiver screen. The blocking looked to be there, but he couldn't quite get to the line to gain.
Good job by Wilmington's defense to recover from that because they were putting pressure on him. And then they came back, and this is an interesting time to go for it. They're looking for an early start.
4th and 2. Remember, he can beat you with his legs as well. Fires it downfield and pulling it in for the catch that time. And the first down is Grady Rhodes.
Now, this is what I call having confidence in your quarterback. When you're in a state championship game, you got 4th and 3, and you're in your own territory, and you go for it in your first series. That's what you talk about, having tremendous confidence in your quarterback, a senior that's been a starter for years for them and has all these records. They have the confidence in him to do it, and he did it.
First down goes to the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10. Shepard has his team on the move. He's moved the chains once. Can he do it again? Out of the shotgun, looking to go downfield, takes a deep shot to Birmingham. He's undercut. Is that an interception? It is. What a play by Billy Moore. Billy Moore, a quarterback on one side of the football, but his first big play comes on defense as he's able to beat Birmingham for this ball.
Well, he got a little too much air under the ball into that wind. Ball's underthrown. Really good coverage. He was underneath him where he's supposed to be, forcing the ball. You can see right here. Good coverage. Excellent coverage. Ball's in the air a little too long. Good start for Wilmington picking him off.
just a great football play by Billy Moore. Let me introduce you to him. He's the quarterback for Wilmington. Also, as you just saw there, a defensive back for the Wildcats. You want to know his season passing stats? 4 for 5 for 48 yards.
It's amazing. What a contrast of offenses.
And here we see the give onto the second man up. And that's Nate Couples on the run to start things off.
I'll give you an idea how effective Wilmington's offense is. They average 10.4 yards per play offensively. And normally, they run the football about 35 times a game for 409 yards. So it's an amazing keep to your vest, run the ball, run the clock, and possession offense. And it's been very successful for Jeff Reitz. He's 12-1 this year.
10.6 yards, as you said. Let's round it up because that was an 11-yard pickup that time for Couples. Here, the give goes to the outside.
And one step away there from popping that one.
And very close to going a little further that time was Evan Ostheim. And taking a look at the offensive starters for Wilmington. Again, those are presented by OSF Healthcare.
That offensive line averages about 220 pounds, which is pretty good for a high school team now. And actually, though, for this whole weekend, that's one of the smaller offensive lines you'll find.
So Ostheim gets the 9-yard pickup. 6-yard pickup, excuse me. And now on the inside, going forward and still spinning his way across the 45-yard line that time. Another big pickup by Ryan Kettman. And Kettman is the guy you're going to hear his name called a lot after the 14-yard pickup here. He's an all-state guy. He's got a combo of size and speed, and he's a 3-year starter.
Well, that always helps, and they know this offense so well because this is an offense that Jeff Reitz has run for all of his years at Wilmington. It's been very successful.
So into the huddle comes Billy Moore. Again, a big play off the top as he forces just the 3rd interception all season by Ryan Shepard, excuse me. And now stacked up close to the line of scrimmage this time is Ryan Kettman. Good defensive effort. No gain on the play.
And that's the first stop that they've had of the running game so far. And that's a big stop for Maroa because Wilmington was really on a roll. And when you get a wing T team like this, they get in a rhythm. And it just starts flowing. The linemen feel successful because the backs are getting 8-10 yards a carry. And so that just starts rolling and rolling. And that's what they've done so far. So we'll see what happens here when they have 2nd and 10.
This time on the quarterback keeper, it's Moore, and he's got lots of green. Can he get to the end zone? He can. A 43-yard touchdown run to get the scoring started here in the 2A state final game as Wilmington strikes first.
Now you know why they don't throw the ball too much. They run the ball so effectively in one direction, and the bootleg comes back the other way. Here's the fakes, and there he goes. Everybody thinks that the ball's gone to the fullback or the wing back, and here comes the quarterback. The backside took off in pursuit. Everybody wants to get to the football. Nobody stayed home on the backside, and that's exactly what happens. Good call from the coaches up in the press box, calling that play down, that they were pursuing too quickly to the football.
So far, it has been the Billy Moore show. He creates the turnover, then he scores off the turnover, gets the interception, and now he's got the touchdown to put Wilmington on the board 6-0, and the extra point forthcoming. Ostheim gets it up. It is through. 7-0. Wilmington takes the lead over Maroa-Forsyth early in the first quarter. You're watching the 2A state championship game.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of Salukis. Capture this moment and go forward together.
It's Menards Black Friday sale. Get everything you need to bring home the holidays. From the tastiest sweet treats for your family to the perfect presents for playing with your pets, and toys under the tree for the kids, to tools and accessories for any project, plus huge savings on new appliances. Menards has great gifts for everyone in your family. Hurry in. These Black Friday deals won't last long.
The IHSA Football State Finals are brought to you in part by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs. And by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU.
Wilmington strikes first in the IHSA Class 2A State Final. They have a 7-0 lead over Maroa-Forsyth. For more on this game, let's go to the third member of our broadcast crew, Kate Constable. Kate?
Yeah, guys, both these programs know the sting of falling short of their expectations, and they're really not used to losing either. Maroa-Forsyth lost in the state title game last year, and Wilmington, playing in 3A, lost in the playoffs last year. But losing is the exception and not the norm for these programs. Maroa-Forsyth is playing in its 10th championship game in the last 19 years, and Wilmington's head coach, Jeff Reitz, has guided the Wildcats to 29 straight playoff seasons, games here. And so that is the norm here. One of these teams is going to go home as a winner tonight. The other one will have to work to get back here next season.
Thank you so much, Kate. Both these teams will get a trophy. It's just a matter of which trophy you go home with at this point, Jack.
Well, that's the case. Obviously, they want to go home with the first trophy, but you can't get that unless you get to this game. So, I mean, it's just one of those situations where it's just a tremendous experience for these high school kids.
Wilmington kicks it off and back deep to receive and bringing it back up to the 30-yard line, we'll call it. Looks like that's where they're going to spot it. Is Braden Lee.
Kind of interesting, some of these returns. You know, when you get the ball out to the 30-yard line, that's decent field position, especially for a team that throws the ball as effectively as Maroa does.
Now, to take you back to Ryan Shepard, here's why what happened in the last drive was such a rarity. Not only does he have the 41 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this year, last year, 45 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. He just does not turn the ball over at a big rate. Now, throwing out to the outside and hooks up right here with Grady Rose again. That's a pickup out to the 35-yard line, make it the 36. It'll be a 5-yard gain.
Well, it's not right now. He's throwing kind of into a crosswind, so it's not a pretty tight spiral as you'll normally see. But what I like is watch how the poise that he shows. He looks so comfortable back there, very casual.
Now gets rid of it again. They're going to say he did not have possession, unable to hang on to it that time was Troy Pulliam.
Now that was a tight rope. He did a nice job of throwing that football.
So now taking a look at the defensive starters brought to you by OSF Healthcare.
You know, during the week, it's very tough to replicate what you're going to see offensively. So you take your scout team and you say, okay, you're going to run the Maroa plays. But who are you going to have that's going to throw the ball like Ryan Shepard? You're not going to have anybody. So you can go look through the routes and do things like that. But it's really tough to prepare your scout team to give you a good look in prep time.
Here's Shepard again, this time rolling to his right, looking for a man downfield. Hits a receiver in Caden Blanc, and he gets out to midfield to pick up a 14.
This is an excellent job of showing you how Ryan Shepard can sprint out. They're trying to get him away from the pressure and throws the ball on the run. And I mean, he put the ball right on the money on that play.
And Ryan Kettman, who we've seen in the backfield on the other side, lays out a nice hit there on Blanc, and he was slow to get up after that one. But it's a first down, 1st and 10 here for Maroa-Forsyth, trying to answer. 4 completions to 3 different receivers so far. He's 4 of 7. He's got the interception, but he's got a chance to work his way back from an early mistake. Here he is to the outside. And lunging forward is Pulliam across the 45-yard line. Nice first down pickup of 6.
He looks really comfortable back there, and he throws the ball extremely well. He's everything that we thought he was going to be. Good routes by the receivers. They just do a nice job of getting open. Good targets for him.
They'll call it a 2nd and 5 from the 44-yard line. Back in that shotgun. Shepard now letting his receivers know, two to the right, one to the left, what he wants to do. Gets rid of it quickly. Up ahead to Caden Birmingham. Birmingham knocked out of bounds by Billy Moore, but not before picking up another first down.
He just gets rid of the ball so quickly. And the backs are doing a nice job. The receivers of running those routes, those out cuts. It's tough for those corners to get on him as fast as the ball is being delivered.
Another first down. Now pressure coming. Having to roll to his right. Gets rid of it. And Grady Rose brings it in. Down to the 26-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup.
That was really good coverage right there, but you could see how he put the ball right on the money, and he threw it away from the defender for the receiver going into the sideline. So if the ball's going to be bad, you can see that it's not going to be an interception because he's thrown it to the high shoulder towards the sideline. That's just outstanding abilities right there by Ryan Shepard.
Rose already with 3 catches in this game. Hunter Kachuk on the tackle there. Now back to work. Pressure coming. He's taking a shot downfield. Had Pulliam unable to hold on to it, however. Good coverage that time by Bryson Means.
And Pulliam's kind of lucky that he didn't get a flag there because he was kind of pushing off a wee bit right there. You saw the little push off. Not enough, but good call by the officials.
Just trying to make sure Means kept his distance.
Yeah.
A little social distancing inside the 5-yard line. It's an incomplete pass, and now we've got a big third down. 3rd and 3 from the 26. You would think Maroa-Forsyth is in go-for-it territory as long as it's a manageable.
No doubt about it.
8th play of the drive, forthcoming. And now a flag. That's not good. See if it's a false start or an illegal shift.
Still going to be 4-down territory for
snap, false start, offense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So big false start that time for Carter Berg. Now they will have a 3rd and 8 situation going back to the 31-yard line. Now trips left as the receivers try to get aligned to what they want to do here. It's got Jordan Waters in the backfield with him. He's now in motion. Sorry, that's Jaron Taylor in trouble, spinning out of pressure, still on his feet, and gets taken down by his shoestrings.
Great play.
And that time it was Hunter Kachuk getting the job done. What a play on 3rd down, and now no longer in go-for-it territory, you would think, after a big loss on the play.
Just great hustle right here to make that play. Or force him out of the pocket. Now, when you get a player like that, tougher things can happen when you get them out of the pocket because they go to the scramble drill, and it's tougher for the secondary to stay with the receivers, especially when you got a kid that can throw the ball as accurately as Ryan Shepard can.
So a big-time play that time by Kachuk. A 10-yard loss on the sack. 4th and 18 from the 41. And Wilmington will be in a position of receiver. Time, and now official timeout. Was there a penalty there? Flag in the back. Maybe a delay of game.
I think that's what we might get.
Flag snap, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So now 4th and 23 from the 46-yard line. Back to receive for Wilmington, Ryan Kettman. This kick to the left of Kettman. It's going to take a bounce sideways, a favorable bounce from Maroa-Forsyth all the way down inside the 1-yard line. What a punt. So Isaiah Bowman puts it right where he wants to. And it's a 7-0 Wildcat lead. We're back after this.
Every great team starts with trust. The kind of trust that builds over time. For 50 years, Country Financial has teamed up with IHSA in our communities. And for 100 years, We've protected you with insurance that does more. From the best times to the tough ones, a great team's got your back when it matters most. Thanks for your trust for 100 years. Here's to 100 more. Country Financial. Experience more.
Friday's championship schedule. One game already down. Lena Winslow, the 1A state champions, after knocking off Brown County 58-13. Right now in 2A, Wilmington holding an early 7-0 lead over Maroa-Forsyth. Still to come, Tolono Unity takes on Byron in the 3A championship. And the nightcap of it all, Rochester and Montini going at it in the 4A title game. But we've got a good one in the early goings here. We've already seen a big-time turnover, a big-time touchdown off of that turnover as we take a look at today's weather. This is ideal football weather because it should be a little colder because you're playing for the state championship. That means you've survived this long, Jack.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, especially with the sun being out, there's not a lot of wind, which really helps. So that's a true 25. That 5 to 10 is kind of high, I think, but that 25 is nice. Now, obviously, we're talking from the press box as we're not downstairs in the stands, so 25 could be a little different than it is for them. It is
if
for
you
us.
would like, I can open all these windows and we can get a true taste of what it feels like out there.
I don't need that taste.
You know what that tastes like?
Yes, I do.
Familiar with that. So now we have a situation where Wilmington will start inside their own 1-yard line, and the beautiful punt, a 45-yard punt by Isaiah Bowman to get them in this possession. Seems like a big opportunity here for Maroa-Forsyth.
Well, this is also a situation that for a team like this is what they do. They run it out of here anyway. Now, it might be different. Maroa was coming out who likes to throw it.
And now a quarterback sneak to try to get some extra room from Billy Moore. Not sure he got much there. Maybe out to the 2-yard line. And that'll bring up second and long. Moore this time just tries to get somewhere, anywhere.
Well, you want to get just a tad more room to run the option look as far as how the wing, when you run a wing T, when you fake it a fullback and do the crossing to the wing backs, whatever. So you need a little more room because you don't want to get caught with depth in the backfield because then you'd be in the end zone.
Now this time, the handoff and finding some room up the middle and tripped up, still on his feet. Kettman out beyond the 20. That's a first down and more. It's a big pickup. 20 yards, 19. We'll call it 19 yards.
Now, if they had run that play initially in that first down, it would have taken too long because he actually was running from the end zone. So if they had any penetration whatsoever, it could have been a safety. So that's why they ran the quarterback sneak initially, to give them just a couple of yards to get out of that end zone before they ran the counter coming back with the wing back.
So some breathing room for Billy Moore on the offense here. We'll see what the running game looks like now that they've got some green behind them. This time, it's the give to Kettman again. Falls forward. Across the 25 out to the 27-yard line.
What's interesting about how they run it, they don't, occasionally they'll run a little motion with the wing back coming back for the play. Other times on the snap is when he's coming back, which makes it more difficult then for the read for the linebackers. Takes a lot of time and a lot of practice.
Pickup of 5. Let me give you Kettman's numbers on the season coming in. 117 rushes for 1566. That's 13.4 yards per carry. 2nd and 5 from the 27. Moore will keep it. He's got Green in front of him, weaving his way to the outside. One man to beat. Can't do it. Bowman chases him down, but it's a huge pickup deep into Maroa-Forsyth territory. They'll mark him down at the 25-yard line.
Gives you an idea why Wilmington only throws the ball. They've only thrown the ball this season 5 times. They've got a running quarterback that's so effective. And what makes this effective is the initial fakes to the fullback and the wingbacks. Everybody squeezes on them, and then the quarterback has an opportunity to make some big plays, which he does.
48-yard pickup has it down to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, and once again, Wilmington on the move.
Billy Moore averages about 14 yards per carry.
Here's Moore again. This time, the handoff to Kettman. He gets wrapped up and taken down. That time it was Dilsharon Singh on the tackle. And Singh was out for a while, but came back last week and now getting some important time on the field here in the first quarter. Under a minute to play. It's a 7-0 Wilmington lead, but the Wildcats trying to add to that.
And they don't rush. The quarterback goes over to the coach to get his play to bring it in. And so they're always taking the clock right down to the last.
10 carries for 151 yards so far as a team for Wilmington. This time, Moore back to Kettman. Gets tripped up inside. Still picks up a couple. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 situation.
Nice job by that defensive front of Maroa. The tough part, it's not so tough for the defensive 4. The tough part is for the linebackers in the secondary when you come up against a team like this, because there's so much movement in the backfield. Going back and forth, it's really tough to find the football for linebackers and for DBs.
And that will do it for the first quarter. Final seconds go off after 1 quarter.
At the Home Depot, Black Friday is the best time to save on appliances like GE Profile, with innovative features like an auto-fill pitcher and all-in-one laundry to help your holidays shine brighter. Shop Black Friday savings with free delivery at the Home Depot.
I'm Jonathan Lawson. If you're 50 to 85, please listen closely. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. It's a rate lock for your life insurance that guarantees that once you're insured, your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. Many policies you see don't have one, but you can get a lifetime rate lock from Colonial Penn. This plan was designed for people on a fixed income with coverage options that start at $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate is locked in for life. Coverage can never be canceled, and your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down because of your health. See for yourself. Call for an information kit and gift. Both are free with no obligation.
Call 1-800-367-7174 for your free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-367-7174. 1-800-367-7174. Call now.
Life moves in moments, milestones that shape us. Some catch us by surprise. Others we're prepared for. Over time, they connect where we've been to where we're going. At Midland, we believe in planning with purpose, so the choices you make today support the people and priorities you care about most. Financial wellness isn't just about what you build. It's about what makes it possible. With thoughtful guidance, we help you stay focused on what matters, now and in the years to come.
With Black Friday savings at the Home Depot, shop reliable appliances like LG with new features like mini craft ice to give this season and your holiday helpers even more to celebrate. Shop Black Friday savings with free delivery at the Home Depot.
It's even better this weekend. Now through Monday, shop Doorbusters starting at just $1.99 or get 0% interest for 60 months with no money down. Plus, our price match guarantee means you'll always get the best deal. Don't miss Black Friday weekend at your local Ashley.
Back with a flashback here at Hancock Stadium of the last time Wilmington was able to pull off a state championship, something they're trying to recreate today. You got to go back to 2014, the 3A title game against Williamsville. And Wilmington, well, the Wildcats were on the move through the air, but it all came down to a last-second field goal. They knock it through to win the 2014 3A title game 20-17 over Williamsville. that is the way you finish off a season.
It always is, especially a close one. You remember those forever. And those are when the coaches and the opposing players have nightmares after the game.
Back here at Hancock Stadium, alongside the coach, Jack McInerney, I'm Marshall Harris, getting you through the Class 2A state final. And it's the start of the second quarter. Wilmington already with one touchdown and back on the move again. Here's the handoff. Hunter Katechuk around the edge, still on his feet, pulls his way into the end zone. Taking one last defender to the weight room on the way to the end zone. And it's a 2-score lead for the Wildcats.
What a nice run that was, with a lot of people out in front of him. Just good power right here. You can see the guards pulling. Logan Van Dyke getting out in front of him. Just a good job of getting out and get on the perimeter, getting a lot of bodies out there, get in behind him and get in the end zone.
Wilmington has come out and put their physical stamp on this game here in the early going.
Well executed offense.
So now on for the kick, Evan Ostheim, the junior. High snap, but he's still able to knock it through. It's a 14-0 Wilmington lead. An impressive drive, to say the least. No need to pass the football. We'll just run it 99 yards on the drive.
Well, that's that offense we talked about in the open, the difference between throwing and running. You can see the bodies get out in front of them right here. Nice job of running with quickness and power, lowering that shoulder. But a good job by that offensive line. Logan Van Dyke getting out in front of him. Now, he is a 210-pounder. As I mentioned, that offensive line is not real big at an average of 220 pounds, but they're very effective. And with this kind of an offense, it's not so much that you got to knock people down as you got to get in their face. You're pulling, you're trapping, you're doing a lot of things like that, and let those backs run in behind you.
No need for a passing game when it only takes you 3 minutes, 35 seconds, and 7 plays to go 99 yards.
That's very effective.
So a big drive here to start the second quarter, capped off there by Hunter Katechuk with the touchdown run. And now looking at a Maroa-Forsyth team, which likes to throw anyway. They're going to be forced into passing more if they want to keep up.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do. But the other interesting part about Wilmington, you know, they're sitting here in the state championship game at 12-1. They lost their first game of the year to Morris, 27-20. Now, Morris is a bigger school. Morris lost last week to Montini, who's playing for the state championship in the 4A. So they learned a lot in that very first game, and then they rattled off all those wins after that first ball game.
On the kickoff return, running all the way across the field this time for Maroa-Forsyth is Caden Blanc. Gets it out to about the 30-yard line. That's where the Trojans will start things off. Again, second quarter, it's been all Wildcats so far in this game. And while Ryan Shepard has put together another outstanding season, he's all-state first team for a reason, he hasn't quite been able to get things going. The big turnover on the first drive, which led to the first touchdown by Billy Moore, and then unable to come up with big plays deep down the field where they got pushed back because of a sack and then a penalty.
Well, what's going to be the interesting part here is the pressure that they're going to put on Ryan Shepard. You got to put pressure on him. We're going to try and do it with just 3 guys, and everybody else is dropping in coverage.
Now a flag comes down. Taking a look and listen to the referee.
They're getting the flag before or after the timeout?
I think they're picking up the flag and saying it's a timeout.
No penalty on the play. Timeout was called first by the offense. Timeout offense.
All right, so Maroa-Forsyth there calls a timeout and avoids the penalty. Let's take a look at another flashback, if you will. We showed you Wilmington's last state championship back in 2014. What about Maroa-Forsyth, the Trojans? Let's go back to 2012, the 1A championship. Big plays lead to big results. And the points were coming in a flurry on this day. 48-24 win over Stockton in 1A. Any day you put up 40-plus, you're doing pretty well as an offense.
No doubt about it. And you can see right there they were still throwing the football. That's their philosophy, and they do it very effectively.
They've had some trouble here in the early goings, tossing the rock around today. So far, total yards, Wilmington, 174, all on the ground. Meanwhile, negative 11 rushing yards from Maroa-Forsyth, 53 passing yards. It's one thing to not be able to, run the ball as well, but the negative yards, that'll kill you every time.
No doubt about it. That kind of tells you what the philosophy is for Wilmington coming after the quarterback. That's the catalyst right there, no doubt about it. Ryan Shepard, he's the record holder. He's the effective quarterback that spreads it out. He doesn't have one favorite receiver. He's got about 3 or 4.
Here's Shepard out of the shotgun, looking to take a shot downfield to the sideline, just out of the hands of Caden Birmingham. He got fingertips on it, but he was just a little too far down the field to bring that one in.
And Ryan Shepard's getting time to throw the ball, but he's only got a 3-man rush, so he's got time to throw the football. And one of the reasons is, if you're going to rush 3, that means you're going to drop the others. And what happens then is, even though he's got more time, they've also got better coverage. So it's a catch-22 in this particular case.
Definitely had his man Birmingham on the outside there, just could not connect. It'll be interesting to see if that pressure does start to come, or if they rely on the 3-man fronts. Here on 2nd and 10. It's a quick pitch to the left, and having trouble finding running room yet again. As tackled there, Jaron Taylor doesn't get much, if anything. Looks like it's a no gain, so it'll be 3rd and 10.
You can see how well prepped and scouted Wilmington was for Maroa, because when they made that last-minute formation change for power football, Wilmington was not affected. They slid in that direction and ended up stuffing that running play. So both teams are prepared well for each other, no doubt about it.
Big 3rd and 10 here on the 30-yard line. Another flag comes out, and looks like this is going to be another false start. Things have not been fluid.
Flag snap. Full start. Number 9 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
You wonder how they can do that when they've been used to doing that all year long, as far as being in those formations and running those plays, how they can be jumping that quickly off. And I mean, it's not like the noise is so loud that you can't hear the quarterback snap at all.
Good crowds here, but it's not to that level. As to your point, Jack, now a 3rd and 15 from their own 25. Here comes the pressure. An attempt at a screen, but this time able to snuff it out. And a big tackle by Billy Moore once again. And Moore has been Johnny on the spot, both sides of the football.
Just a great job right here, staying home, reading exactly what they're doing. This is called backside discipline, where you're not over pursuing the football to get to it, because you know you've got to be there for any kind of reverses and counters and screens coming to the backside. Excellent job right there by the backside of Wilmington. Great coaching.
So Moore's got an interception. Now he's got a sack for a loss of 7 yards. And now the punt on the way, and I'm not sure if it was blocked or just shanked, but it goes out of bounds at around the 31-yard line. Not ideal if you are Maroa-Forsyth. And that will stop that drive. Taking another look at a punt, which was blocked. We'll be back with more from the 2A state championship game after this.
Saying no doesn't make you boring. It makes you smarter. Make your own choices. Generation Lead, empowering athletes, inspiring leaders. For more information, visit generationlead.org.
When you fire up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, nonstop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights. Whoa! More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once, so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
Back here, 2nd and 7. IHSA Class 2A state finals. Wilmington, Maroa-Forsyth, the Wildcats on the move. They have been running with impunity. Here the handoff goes to, and it comes out. Let's see what the play is. Ryan Kettman on the carry. A lot of after going on. 3rd down, though, and 5 after the 2-yard pickup.
Well, this will certainly be a situation where it's a 2-down territory. There's no doubt about that. But Maroa really needs to have a stop here because Wilmington's really been running the ball at will against them. You can see the block trying to sustain the block right here, and this is what the crowd was concerned about, was that he was overzealous in his blocking abilities.
1 for 1 on 3rd downs. Here, up ahead, and all alone for the touchdown is Ryan Strager. Pretty much untouched, and the misdirection is just taking its effect on Maroa-Forsyth. Big touchdown there.
Tremendous execution. As we mentioned before, as far as how the linebackers in the secondary read that movement in the back, as soon as that guy flashes, but you can see a good job by the offensive line trapping and kicking out, and he just turns up inside. That was just domination by the offensive line of Olin, Cutter, and Van Dyke inside.
So Strager gets into the end zone. It's the 3rd touchdown on 3 possessions by Wilmington. And this one's got all the makings. 15 attempts on the ground, 205 yards, and now 3 touchdowns for the Wildcats. Extra point on the way by Ostheim. It is up and good. 21-0. Wilmington has come out and made a statement today.
Now, a lot of fans would think, well, the team that has 21 points is the passing team. It's just the opposite. That, Wilmington is just running the ball very effectively. Good job by the offensive line of blocking, and the backs, of course, and all the misdirection. They just have this offense down pat. They've been running it for years with Jeff Reitz, does a fantastic job with it. And it's very tough for Maroa. When you don't run into this kind of an offense that often, it's tough to defend it.
The Wilmington offense has read much more like a passing offense than a running offense. 5 run plays of 10-plus yards, 2 plays of 30-plus yards. So the explosive plays have been there without putting the ball in the air and in harm's way.
Well, that's what they do, and they do it well. There's just no doubt about it. They're just so effective. They have tremendous confidence in their offense.
Again, just want to remind people, if you're wondering if this is standard operating procedure, Billy Moore, the starting quarterback for Wilmington, 5 passes all season long, 4 of 5, 48 yards. So he's accurate. 80% of his passes are complete.
Well, that's why he's so accurate. People just are lulled to sleep. They're back there snoring, and all of a sudden the receiver's running past them.
828 yards on the ground for Billy Moore. He's got a touchdown. He got the Wildcats on the board today, early in this one. Now getting ready to kick things off. Evan Ostheim back to receive for Maroa-Forsyth is Caden Blanc. .8:42 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 2A title games have been all Wilmington. Here's Ostheim. Shoot one back. Blanc won't come up and get it. Instead, it will be Cooper Holman. Gets across the 35. Let's go downstairs and check in with Kate Constable. Kate?
Guys, a big part of Moore's tradition happens before kickoff even. In fact, it happens the day before. It's called Breakfast at the Boyd at Walter Boyd Stadium. It's an open practice early in the morning on Thanksgiving, and fans are welcome. About 100 fans show up. They have donuts. They have hot chocolate. The cheerleaders decorate the cars that are driving. Tight-knit this program, and that energy carries out into the field.
Thank you so much, Kate. These are really community happenings when you get a team all the way to the state championship game, and especially with some of these smaller teams, it's something that brings them together. Is that pass on the way, but unable to reel it in that time was Braden Lee. And looked like the pass was on the money from my angle.
It was. Good coverage, though. The corner's coming up. I think it could have been a possibility of some alligator arms there. Usually I see that with you when it's time for the check at dinner.
Hey, I know you got the deeper pockets, so I go with the bigger resource. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
I heard that rumor.
And so it's an incomplete pass. And now we got a 2nd down and 10 situation. And are they already in a pass-only mode? It seems that way.
Well, that's their offense. It's basically a pass-only mode for the most part.
Now another quick out, same direction. This time it is hauled in by Caden Blanc, who will get it out close to the 50 at the 48-yard line. That's a pickup of 11 and a 1st down.
Now this is a longer throw for him because you're looking at the college hash marks as opposed to the high school hash marks. And it's just a little longer throw when they put the ball down on the hash. It feels more balanced for a throwing quarterback in an offense that throws the ball.
Here he is again. Finds a nice little window there to get it back to Blanc. It's across the 45 and almost to the 40-yard line. They'll mark it at the 41.
He really drilled that one. He can really throw the ball. He put some zip on this.
And getting in rhythm here. That's something that Wilmington doesn't like to see necessarily, but still a long ways to go when you've got a 21-point cushion.
Well, ironically, though, the defensive coordinator for Wilmington is the head coach, Jeff Reitz. And so he takes a lot of pride in that defense.
Here they bring pressure, sliding through it to his left. Now running, it's a foot race to get out of bounds, and all of that for a pickup of maybe 1 as he's chased out of bounds that time. And it's a very small pickup. They'll say 2 yards on the play.
Well, the credit for that particular play goes to the secondary. He had nobody open, and it forced him to scramble. And he's capable of doing that. And actually, initially, it looked like he was going to have a longer gain than just 1 yard, but it was a good closing movement by the defensive back to get there, force him into the sideline.
Ryan Kettman coming up, forcing him out of bounds. Now 2nd and 8 from the 39-yard line. Back to pass again. Looks for Birmingham. Broken up, however. Good defense that time from Finn Bryant on the coverage.
Real nice job right there. I'm really kind of impressed with Wilmington's defense. You know, they've done a nice job offensively, but look at the coverage. He's right there, no doubt about it.
So Birmingham unable to come up with it. Now a 3rd and 8. Big play here. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. Just 1 for 4 on 3rd down. Maroa-Forsyth.
And this, again, is probably 2-down territory because in their first drive, they did it from their own territory, and they had further to go, so you know they're going to go for it here.
Here with a man in motion, and now rolling out to his left, he just dirts it as he rolls out, and the pressure was coming fast and furious that time.
Boy, they're not letting him sit in there at all.
Jack Cutter in on the play. Also Zach Oland. He just did not have time to get himself set to throw. So now 4th and 8, and as you mentioned, they are keeping the offense out on the field.
Well, anytime you play a quarterback that's as effective as Ryan is, you want to make sure that you make him uncomfortable. Put pressure on him, give him different coverages. You got to do all kinds of things to play with him mentally and physically.
Shepard now, and the blown dead. A timeout's going to be taken by Maroa-Forsyth. They'll talk things over. So 4th and 8. Timeout. You got a specific set of plays for 4th and 8? Or is it just more the passing?
With a passing team, you know, you're talking about screens and draws, and they like to run the quick screens to the outside, the perimeter, to get some of these athletes out on one-on-one where you test the tackling ability of the corners. But the other part, you know, that's interesting about Wilmington, they're so successful, the entire program, but to be here, and part of that is when you have a staff that's together for a long time. They've got 3 members that have been together for 30 years. Jeff Reitz, who's the head coach, Barry Southall, who is the offensive coordinator, and Bob Bolzer, who's the special teams coordinator. So they got 3 coaches, one that takes care of the defense, the other takes care of the offense, and another one that takes care of the special teams. They've been together for 30 years. So you talk about continuity in a program and keeping it going together and the same minds working together and thinking about what they're going to do. That's how you win the championships and get to the state championship.
Wilmington has been very successful in doing that. They've got titles in 2023, 2021, 2014. They got a state championship appearance in 2003. They're 3-1 all time in state title games. Chance to make it 4-1 today. Here's Maroa-Forsyth, 4th and 8. Look out for Caden Blanc. He's got 3 first down catches so far in this game. Keep an eye on him. Here comes the pressure. Wide receiver screen coming, but unable to get free that time was Grady Rose. And he gets taken down and stopped at the 38-yard line. Another stop for Wilmington. The shutout continues. Wildcats on top, 21-0. The Trojans still trying to find their way in the IHSA 2A state title game.
Dental and vision coverage through Delta Dental of Illinois. Get a plan that fits to a T.
Credit Union One, proud banking partner of the IHSA, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com.
Dental and vision coverage through Delta Dental of Illinois. Get a plan that fits to a T.
Back here at Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University, Wilmington, a 21-0 lead over Maroa-Forsyth in the IHSA Class 2A state championship game. Alongside Jag McNerney, I'm Marshall Harris. Kate Constable down on the sidelines with us. And right now, 1st and 10 for Wilmington. Let me tell you how this has gone so far, Jack. 4 possessions for Maroa-Forsyth. We had the interception, which led to a touchdown, followed by a punt, and then turnover on downs. And then Williamston, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. And they'll start it here by handing it off on the inside. It's Nate Couples who gets all the way out to the 47-yard line and moves the chains.
What's kind of interesting is if we get a shot, which we will, of the fullback and the stance that he has. It's one of those stances where you normally don't teach that, but he has so much weight forward, it almost looked like he's going to stumble when he comes out of his stance. Just kind of a unique stance for a fullback, not necessarily for a wishbone fullback, but look at, you see the stance that he has. Look at.
It's almost like he's leaning forward like a tiger. Now being brought down that time is Couples.
That was the same play they ran prior to that. That was successful, and that came back now, and they stuffed it.
I said tiger. I meant a bear, like the bear crawl, the old gym exercise.
Good job right there. The reason that play was stopped was because the tackle was not beaten. The defensive tackle was not beaten on that play as he was in the first one that was successful. So same play, but a different result.
Camden Trembler able to hold him to no gain there. So now it's a 3rd and 1 from the 47. And going straight forward with it is Moore. And looks like he has enough for the first down.
Looks close.
Let's see where they're spotting it. Now they're going to have a discussion.
They might bring the chain out. No, they're giving it to him.
It is a first down. There's a long delay there, right? It made you think twice about it.
Like line up a putt. How close was it? Which direction are we going?
So out to the 48-yard line, another first down. And he may not have gotten on that initial, and that's probably why they thought they stopped him.
Good wedge blocking right there by the offensive line. Coopers, Olin, Cutter, Van Dyke, and Wilson. Nice job of getting shoulder to shoulder and wedging out that 2 yards.
Here's Moore and company, 1st and 10 from the 8. The pitch, and into the inside, and finally getting stopped is Ryan Kettman. He just had that one man to beat, and he could have been sprung free again.
Well, he could have been sprung free, but it didn't look like he was even going to get it to the line of scrimmage initially, and he bounced it out. As we'll see right there, good job right here. The extra legs.
But he gets stopped short. 19 runs for 219 yards as a team so far for Wilmington. We still have 5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Well, the quarterback goes to the sideline to get the play, so they're not rushing. They don't get a lot of plays in because it takes them, they use all the time on the clock.
Here's Moore. He'll keep it himself, tries to get to the edge, got one man to beat, turns the corner. Now bounces to the outside, inside the 40, and finally taken out of bounds. Good job on a one-on-one matchup by Billy Moore there to get to the edge and pick up 6.
That's the touchdown play that he ran before after off the fake, the bootleg going to the outside. Now that one, they actually defended it better, but he shows you the speed that he has. It should have been a loss, but the speed he has, he just kind of outran that outside linebacker.
He's got 5 carries for 102 yards.
He's effective.
P.J. Woodward unable to keep him from turning the corner on that particular play. Now a new fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10 from the 37. Just under 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Another pitch. This time Kettman dragging defenders across the 30-yard line. Pickup of 7.
The play is so constricted there as far as the splits with the offensive line. You can see it almost. Everything's real tight. You wouldn't even think that he'd be able to get 8 or 9 yards out of it because it looks like initially it's going to be a 1 or 2 yard gain. But the surge by the offensive lineman after the initial contact, there's not big splits in there. And we're talking about the distance between the center and the guards and the tackle. That creates more distance and creates better situations for blocking schemes.
Kettman coming off the end on that wing play. It's like he has to, as this one goes up the middle and trying to bust free inside the 20. Finally stood up that time by D'Angelo Owen, but not before a big pickup by Ryan Schrager, the fullback.
And see, just a little inside trap there where the guard comes back and traps on the inside. And he doesn't get a lot of calls. He's mostly faking and blocking. But there he had a nice pickup.
So we've had runs on this drive alone. 9 yards, 1 yard, 6 yards, 9 yards, 7 yards, and then just a 13-yard run that time by Schrager.
That's the offense that we're looking at. That's the type of possessions and drives that they have.
1st and 10 from the 16. This time, the handoff to the outside. It's Kate Shook. Finally gets taken down, but not before he gets all the way to the 8-yard line.
Good effort right there. I'm impressed with the backs. They've got a stable of running backs, but here's a good job. That you can see the good block right there by Logan Van Dyke, getting him outside. But the efforts that they have with these running backs after the initial contacts, yards after contact is so important when you're talking about running backs. Same with receivers. You know, we talk about yaks, yards after catch. What do they do with the ball after the initial contacts?
So 2nd and 1 now from the 7-yard line. The pitch, again to Kettman. This time gets taken down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. And it's interesting watching him run the way you kind of described it. He's 6'3", and so he almost kind of has to walk low on the first few steps he takes after he gets the ball before he tries to actually do something with power.
Yeah, it has to do with balance. And you know, you're talking again about kids that are really good athletes, but these are things that they've been running this offense since they were in junior high. This is what they do in Wilmington with all their youth programs.
So it is a steady train up to get to this point. State championship game knocking on the door for a 4th touchdown. 1st and goal now from the 5. 10th play of the drive. This time it's Moore sliding inside the 2-yard line before being taken down. Pulliam on the tackle.
Good job there getting to the backside. They're just keeping them honest with the offense. They have to stay home. They have to stay disciplined. They cannot over pursue the way Wilmington runs this offense. They have the counters. They're coming back. But the crucial part of it is that quarterback. Oftentimes in this kind of an offense, the quarterback is not a real effective runner. But in this case, we're talking about Billy Moore. He's only 145 pounds, but he's really quick. Has done a nice job leading this Wilmington offense.
Now Moore. The pitch. It's Kettman. He's in. Another touchdown for Wilmington as they take a 4-score lead. This time, it's Ryan Kettman, the All-State running back, with the final blow of the drive.
And again, he gets in behind the left side of that offensive line. Kuiper, Zolan, and Cutler doing a nice job of surging. You can see where the linemen are. They're all in the end zone. And that means if they're in the end zone, that means that the defensive defenders are also in the end zone. And eventually, the back will be there.
There was Kettman walking tall once he hit pay dirt. Now, Ostheim on for the extra point. It is through and good. 11 plays, 6 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock on an impressive second quarter drive that makes it a 28-0 Wildcats lead.
You know, I mentioned earlier about the only loss for Wilmington was in the very first game of the year. Now, when you lose in the first game of the year, you say, like, woe is me. What's going to happen? Here they are in the last game of the year, their 14th game, winning for the state championship. And interesting enough, Reitz is a Morris graduate, and he picked Morris to play in the very first game, who was a powerhouse. They lost, but it's helped them.
What was supposed to be a homecoming ends up being a 7-point loss. As we take a look at all of the games from today's championship schedule, we are deciding state crown winners 1A through 4A. Already, Lena Winslow has been crowned after a 58-13 dominant performance over Brown County. You see what's happening right now in 2A with Wilmington up 28-0 over Maroa-Forsyth. Up next, Tolono Unity and Byron getting together. One loss between them, and the same story between Rochester and Montini. That's the 4A title game, and that is our nightcap before we do it all over again tomorrow morning starting at 10 a.m. with 5A.
Good football. It's just, you know, I enjoy the 1A and 2As, the smaller schools, because it shows you how well coached they are, how the communities come together. But what I like is they're really good conditioned athletes, because probably 80 or 90% of them play both ways, and they play both ways effectively.
Caden Blunt gets it out past the 30-yard line before being dropped on the play by Bryson Meents on the tackle there. So now it's 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line.
Well, this is a situation that Maroa is not used to. I can guarantee you that.
Down 28-0. So far, Ryan Shepard in this game, 11 for 19, 82 yards. And also the interception on the first drive, and snuffed out immediately that time. Declan Warren was right there to make the tackle after the completion. That is a loss of yards.
This is just one of their bread and butter plays is the quick screens. They like to run the quick screens coming in and the quick screens going out. But that you can see right there, that was well played, which means that they scouted them really well.
Loss of 5 yards on the completion there. So 2nd and 15 from the 25. Clock under a minute to play here, trying to get something going. This time completely out to Grady Rose. He'll step out of bounds to get back close to the original line of scrimmage. Bring up a 3rd and long.
These are situations that Maroa is not used to. And usually, you know, with passing teams, there's not a situation that they don't like, because they always figure for long yardage they can pick it up. But this defense is playing really good. They're giving them a lot of different looks as far as the secondary is concerned. They're giving them a lot of different looks as far as the rush. Sometimes they're dropping the linebackers. Other times they're bringing them. So there's different reads continually making him think, and they want him not to be comfortable back there, and thus far they've accomplished that.
They'll spread it out on 3rd and 10. Will the pressure come? It does. Rolling to his right, trying to get it to Rose, but he is off target, out of bounds, and that'll bring up 4th down and 11. So the clock stops with 43 seconds to play in the first half. Wilmington up by 4 touchdowns, and Maroa-Forsyth will punt.
Maroa is really doing a nice job defensively. I'm almost more impressed with them defensively than the obvious offense that they're producing.
So on to punt now. Isaiah Bowman, who's had the best of times and the worst of times in this game. 2 punts, 26.5 average. Remember, he was able to pin them, Wilmington, down inside the 1-yard line, and they responded by driving 99 yards for a touchdown. And then he had a punt blocked, and Wilmington was able to score off of that one. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns for the Wildcats.
Championship teams take advantage of those opportunities. You're given the opportunity. The difference is, can you take advantage of it? And they have.
Trojans out of timeouts. Wildcats, they've got 3 timeouts, so conceivably they could get this ball back and do something. Although it's not like they're probably going to put it in the air.
Well, exactly, and that's their forte is running the football. So 43 seconds, they're not in any rush to do anything.
28-0. Wildcats. Wilmington has had quite the run to get here. As you mentioned, they lost that opening game to Morris, a game that, in talking to Jeff Raines, he said they've made that loss a positive throughout the season. Gives them kind of a square one. That'll keep you humble. You lose your first game of the season. And then just the numbers they've been putting up in the playoffs. This is in line with that. They won 70-8 over West Hancock in the first round. A 42-0 win over Seneca, a 49-7 win over Tri-Valley, and then a 41-0 win over El Paso Gridley. So for them, this has been standard operating procedure once the postseason started. And that snap is over the head of Bowman. He loses it. It's loose. It's still loose. And falling on it in the end zone.
Wow.
Is Wilmington.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So as we talk about it, more bad times.
We saw this in the first game. Just unheard of scenarios that have happened.
Will Wilson ends up in the end zone with a touchdown. Your starting left tackle on offense out there on special teams. Bowman picks it up for a split second, and then it's just a loose ball that everybody's going for, and Wilson ends up on it. I love how he tried to pick it up in the end zone as opposed to just fall on it in the end zone. Seems like he'd seen enough people try to fall on it. It squirts one way. He's like, I'm just going to pick it up.
You know, in the reunion 10 or 15, 20 years from now, Wilson's going to be telling everybody that it was about a 60-yard run for a touchdown in the state championship game.
Extra point is good. It's a 35-0 lead. We wondered if they'd be able to score on a drive. Well, they didn't have to rely on their offense. Special teams getting it done. As Will Wilson gets there, picks it up.
Wow. Just
gets the touchdown.
Unbelievable.
I wonder if when he woke up, did he think, I'm going to score a touchdown today as a lineman. There it is.
Tell you what, that's great for a lineman, no doubt about it. Linemen are special. It's a special breed. You know, they get together. They're really tight. You know, oftentimes the more elite quarterbacks and running backs and wide receivers, they're somewhat aloof oftentimes because they feel as if they're kind of a special breed. Those linemen, you know, they get dirty. They just get down there, you know, they're the hard workers that really work hard. They don't get any of the press or anything about what they do. And but you know, they're the backbone of a very effective offense, which they are doing for Wilmington here.
Linemen certainly have gotten the job done for Wilmington, both in blocking. We see the special teams play. They're also just stopping the Trojans without actually having to necessarily get pressure on or sack the quarterback. They've just been able to kind of hold their own against a Trojans team that's not used to being held scoreless for a whole half.
Well, what they're doing is they're just doing enough to make the quarterback, who's an outstanding high school football quarterback, uncomfortable, giving them different looks in the secondary, giving them different fronts for the offensive linemen to try and block.
Now on the way back up is Caden Blanc. This time gets taken down before he can get out to the 30-yard line. So now 28 seconds remaining in the first half. If you look at the number of plays that have been run, 27 plays by Maroa-Forsyth, only 26 by Wilmington. And that goes back to what you say. What you do with said plays tells a lot.
The scoreboard, it doesn't lie, but what statistics oftentimes do is they sway you and give you a different look of what that scoreboard is telling you.
Certainly can be skewed one way or another. Over 260 yards of total offense for Wilmington. That's been the story of this first half.
But Maroa might be even flinching right now and be afraid of turning something over and giving them another one, but they're going to go into the locker room and regroup here.
So they will not try to take a shot down the field, instead allowing the final seconds to run off. That'll do it for the first half as the Wildcats of Wilmington dominate with a 35-0 lead on the strength of 267 yards rushing on just 26 attempts. And of course, they've got 4 touchdowns by way of the ground as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, negative 30 yards rushing for Maroa-Forsyth, and the passing game has not been able to save them, at least not today.
Well, you have to salute the defense of Wilmington. The offense is obvious, but you got to salute the defense. They're doing a great job.
Let's go downstairs to Kate Constable. Kate?
Coach, 267 yards of offense on 26 plays, 5 touchdowns. What's made your offense so tough to contain today?
I tell you, Billy Moore's been our little ingredient today that's done a good job. We have a number of very good backs. Just so happens Billy's the one today that's kind of sticking out for us, and him running our bootlegs and keeping the defense honest, I think has been a big part of this today.
And then defensively, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, and interception. We just saw what happened here at the end of the half. How big of an impact have you been defensively?
Oh, I think the kids have done well getting to the football. That was one thing. I think Declan Moran at that outside backer spot's really done a good job for us. But we're doing a good job of getting after the football secondary-wise. I think we're being disciplined. Got a long way to go with this half here. Let's see if we can make some adjustments at halftime and go from there.
Good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Kate. 35-0. It's been all Wilmington here in the IHSA Class 2A State Championship game.
It's Menards Black Friday sale. Get everything you need to bring home the holidays. From the tastiest sweet treats for your family to the perfect presents for playing with your pets and toys under the tree for the kids to tools and accessories for any project. Plus huge savings on new appliances. Menards has great gifts for everyone in your family. Hurry in. These Black Friday deals won't last long.
Attention high school students. If you're tired of hearing the same old college debt story, we've got an exciting alternative for you. Join the Mid-America Carpenters Union and let your career dreams take flight. You can earn great pay, enjoy no-cost health insurance, and secure a stable retirement, all with no college debt and an elite career that's here to stay. It's time to build your future your way. Ready to carve your path to success? Contact the Mid-America Carpenters Union today to learn how you can unleash your potential.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can know, from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of silly views. Capture this moment and go forward together.
I'm a proud man. So asking my son to help me bathe, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Walk-in tubs give you independence and peace of mind with low step-in doors, slip-resistant floors, soothing hydrotherapy jets, and fast-drain technology.
Now I don't need anybody's help. I've got my dignity back.
1-833-304-0361. 1-833-304-0361.
The IHSA, committed to keeping student-athletes safe. Through educational initiatives and national partnerships, we're going the distance to develop safer protocols for our teams. Plus, we continue to improve scheduling and conditioning to reduce injuries from preseason through each state championship. 31 sports, 350,000 student-athletes, and one goal, player safety. The IHSA, the future plays here.
It's halftime of the Class 2A final. Right now, Wilmington leads Maroa-Forsyth 35-0. Alongside Edgy Tim, I'm Lauren Withrow. Edgy, your overarching takeaway from what Wilmington's doing so successfully right now?
Wow. Does that cover
Wow.
it? I mean, wow. You talk about a team that came out on fire. That's Wilmington. And again, we talked in the pregame about Billy Moore and the Magic Show. And you'll see in the highlights where his ball fakes and the way this offense runs, absolutely impressive what they do. And I think Jack alluded towards it in the tail end of the second quarter there. The defense for Wilmington, absolute key. The overall team speed, it has really bogged down a very good Maroa offense. So again, hats off to Wilmington.
35-0, the score at the half. Let's take a look at our first half highlights. Start things off. Right off the top, Trojan quarterback Ryan Shepard is picked off by Billy Moore, the man who's been doing it all for the Wildcats. Right after that, they'll back it up. Moore takes it himself all the way to the house on a 43-yard run, turning on the Jets.
I was faked out. You were faked out. The room was faked out. Everyone was faked out.
They would go up right now 14-0. And how about this? Up the middle, Ryan Schrager brings the score to 21. Now, this was just a moment ago, 43 seconds left, and there's a loose ball. Everyone's going for it, and who comes up with it other than left tackle Will Wilson recovering this one for a touchdown? The offensive lineman getting a little something to celebrate himself.
When a big man gets a touchdown, an angel gets its wings. That's all I'm going to say.
And Will Wilson definitely earning that touchdown because of what this offensive line has been able to do for quarterback Billy Moore.
Good size. They're not 6'4", 6'5", but they're 5'10", 6 foot, 220 pounds. They're quick. They're strong. And again, you just see how quickly these holes open up at that O-line, doing a tremendous job for Wilmington.
Edgy, your key to this game was dominating the time of possession. Wilmington is winning that right now. It's about 13 and a half minutes to about 10 and a half.
But it's really strange because Maroa has made Wilmington kind of earn the scores. Very few teams this year, if you follow Wilmington and all, they've scored probably a majority of their touchdowns under 3-4 plays all year. So at least you're talking, a couple of 10, 12 play drives, and I guess you can take a little bit of solace of that. Not much, but a little.
Wilmington strung together a drive that lasted over 6 minutes. In the middle of the second quarter, they're really starting to take control of this game and be smart about it.
They are, but if you're a Maroa fan, and let's face it, we're all Maroa fans, you've got a passing game. First of all, you got to find a way to cut down on that pass rush. If you're able to do that and get Ryan Shepard a little bit of time, you can maybe get down the field a little bit and try to make things up. The possibility is still there.
Ryan Shepard right now 13 of 22, but the run game has not been able to get going. They're minus 40 yards in that category.
And pressure does a lot of things and not a lot of good things to a quarterback in a passing game, and that's what we're seeing in the first half.
Oh, there's going to be plenty more action to come. The game feels closer than the score says, 35-0 Wilmington. Here's a look at all the All-State Class 2A team recognized by the Illinois High School Football Coaches Association. We'll break down the rest of Friday's matchup after the break.
Hi, I'm Jason Bow with Bob Ridings in Taylorville. Visit us at bobridings.com from now till the end of the month. Select your next car. Fill out the online form for $200 off our already low prices now through the end of the month.
Kirshner Building Center is more than just a lumberyard. We're a family-owned business since 1906 with 17 locations across 3 states. We'll always remain committed to serving our community. No matter what the project is, whether it's windows, doors, siding, roofing, home remodel, new home, or even a cabinet remodel, we can handle it all. Kirshner Building Center is here to help you get the job done.
This year, we're counting on you to bring a little holiday magic to the children of Central Illinois.
All you have to do is donate a new unwrapped toy anywhere you see this donation box.
Or drop your donation off on December 11th right here at our WCA3 Toy Drive to support Champaign County Toys for Tots.
Every year, our community shows up, and we hope you can help make this the most giving season yet.
The WCIA3 Toy Drive, presented by our partners.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know.
But only you can prevent wildfires.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. I would hope kids get better and make everything super fun.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a defect of the immune system that affects millions. Early testing can give children a chance to dream.
At Bob Riding Ford Service Center in Taylorville, we offer 16 name brands of tires. One of the advantages of buying tires from us is Ford service rebates, military and first responder discounts. We also have lifetime free rotation and free balancing. Only at Bob Riding Service Center in Taylorville.
That is most.
The IHSA football state finals are underway right now. It's halftime. Wilmington leading Maroa-Forsyth 35-0. He's Edgy Tim. I'm Lauren Withrow. Happy to be here with you for a full slate of games today. Wilmington off to a dominant start here in this first one, but this is what we've got on deck. Coming up, it's Unity against Byron in that 3A championship.
We talked about the matchups, and that's kind of similar to this game. It's a passing team in Unity taking on a tremendously great Byron offense. So it should be a really interesting matchup.
After that, we'll cap off the day with Rochester against Montini for the 4A final.
And we're throwing the ball, people. We are going to throw that football in 4A, and both teams, very good offenses, tremendous quarterbacks, and again, should be a lot of fun to wrap up the day.
Speaking of throwing the ball, quarterback Ryan Shepard from Maroa-Forsyth has been doing that so far. He's going to have to keep that going to make up some serious ground here.
A lot of pressure, and that's what he's had to deal with. Again, it's one thing to sit back in the pocket. It's another when you're getting flushed out. You got to find a little bit of time, get those receivers open downfield. Again, hopefully you can break a play or two here, maybe change momentum a little bit, but if you're Maroa, you've got to come out throwing right away.
Pressure is on for the Trojans. What has to be their key to shut down this prolific Wilmington offense?
Wow, that's a tough one. You know, it's find the football, and it sounds incredibly basic, but it's so true. You've got to play the fullback, and you've got to be able to find the football, because as we've seen, they can go inside, they can go outside. Find the ball first.
Finding the ball is something Wilmington's defense has been excellent at so far. They're getting hats to the ball. They've been disciplined, and they're really just stuffing this Trojans offense. They can't get anything moving.
Say stuffing?
Yeah.
I bet there's some leftover stuffing being eaten right now out there in TV land.
Hey, you need a big pregame meal for a game like this, especially if you're Billy Moore, who seems to just be doing it all right now for the Wildcats. Another player also putting in his work here. We've got a loose ball, and how about this? Left tackle Will Wilson with the touchdown.
The new mayor of Wilmington.
And he picked it up. He didn't even jump on it.
United Prairie is Central Illinois' ag retail leader with 14 locations to service your farming operation. We create partnerships to enhance productivity for our farmers through dedication, teamwork, and a growth mindset. Visit us online, and best of luck to the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans.
Every great business begins with a single vision. Day in and day out, you roll up your sleeves to get the job done. But growing a business means more than hard work. It takes the right partner. And at Midland States Bank, we're behind you every step of the way. With services that grow as you do. We're here for every milestone and every kept promise. With expert guidance to plan next steps or passing the torch to the next generation. At Midland, we help build businesses that last.
WCIA has been following this story since 2024 when Sonia Massey was shot and killed by a former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy. There was an impact all across the country. I mean, you had national news outlets covering this. The story is not over. We have sentencing coming up at the end of January. The Massey family wants to see more done. Her cousin even said,
I will dedicate my life dismantling the systems that created this problem.
This is a story we're going to be following as the Massey family makes sure their ideas are heard.
United Prairie is Central Illinois' ag retail leader with 14 locations to service your farming operation. We create partnerships to enhance productivity for our farmers through dedication, teamwork, and a growth mindset. Visit us online, and best of luck to the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans.
Friday weekend at your local Ashley.
Time now for the Menards halftime stats. Save big money on your home improvement needs. All of the offense for the Wildcats right now coming on the ground, 267 yards. What's allowing them to get that done?
Again, tremendous line play and just executing and just everything going Wilmington's way.
Trojans not able to run the ball. They've been throwing it. What can they do to create some more space for their backs?
You got to get the passing game going. You've got to be able to get things downfield a little bit. Hopefully, be able to free up things and run the ball, but you got to get the passing game going.
Trojans have their work cut out for them here as we get set for the second half of the Class 2A final. There's Trojans wide receiver Caden Blanc. He leads the team with 36.
More of that.
United Prairie is Central Illinois' ag retail leader with 14 locations to service your farming operation. We create partnerships to enhance productivity for our farmers through dedication, teamwork, and a growth mindset. Visit us online, and best of luck to the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans.
Kershaw Building Center is more than just a lumberyard. We're a family-owned business since 1906 with 17 locations across 3 states. We'll always remain committed to serving our community. No matter what the project is, whether it's windows, doors, siding, roofing, home remodel, new home, or even a cabinet remodel, we can handle it all. Kershaw Building Center is here to help you get the job done.
The holidays are here. From stocking stuffers to showstoppers, the best local gifts are right here in Central Illinois. We're showcasing local shops and uncovering unique gift ideas in our Holiday Gift Guide special. It's holiday shopping made easy.
Watch CI Living's Holiday Gift Guide special Wednesday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. on WCIA3. Sponsored by Hardy's Reindeer Ranch, Out of the Blue Polish Pottery and Gifts, and Hada Med Spa.
This year, we're counting on you to bring a little holiday magic to the children of Central Illinois.
All you have to do is donate a new unwrapped toy anywhere you see this donation box.
Or drop your donation off on December 11th right here at our WCIA3 Toy Drive to support the Champaign County Toys for Tots.
Every year, our community shows up, and we hope you can help make this the most giving season yet.
The WCIA3 Toy Drive, presented by our partners.
For a more loving home and classroom, praise kids at least 4 times for every time you correct them. 4-to-1 praise is just one of many strategies parents and teachers can find at parenting.org from Boys Town.
United Prairie is Central Illinois' ag retail leader with 14 locations to service your farming operation. We create partnerships to enhance productivity for our farmers through dedication, teamwork, and a growth mindset. Visit us online, and best of luck to the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans.
Wilmington Wildcats, a 35-0 lead on Maroa-Forsyth. Marshall Harris, Jack McInerney with you as we have been throughout the first half of this day. Let's take a look at Maroa-Forsyth and Wilmington and how they got to normal. Start, of course, with Maroa-Forsyth, not too far from here. They travel just a little bit north to get to Hancock Stadium. Meanwhile, a little further journey for Wilmington to the northeast of here. Getting here and walking away with a state championship, those are 2 different things, and so far the team from Wilmington has been up to the task.
Well, that scoreboard is not something that is not true. I mean, it's 35-0, and you're wondering how is that possible for a team that scores 43 points a game. Maroa has just been blanked, and Wilmington scores 46 a game, and they've already got 35. Wilmington's defense has been just tremendous. But what's happened here is you're talking about a throwing team in Maroa, and they have been 1 of 6 on 3rd down. Where on the other hand, Wilmington is 3 of 3 on 3rd down. So that kind of gives you an idea of how effective Wilmington's offense has been and how ineffective the offense has been for Maroa. They've been stopped every time on 3rd down. 3rd and 16, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. Those are the scenarios they've had on 3rd down. Why do they get like that? Because Wilmington has been dominant on 1st down defensively against Maroa.
So, again, the only time in which they were able to convert a 3rd down was when it was a manageable 3rd and 5. The other times, those are all not ideal situations to have your offense in.
Exactly. And what that does is it tells the defense, well, I've got to throw the ball in those kind of longer yardage scenarios. And Wilmington has just been very, very good defensively. And what they're doing to an outstanding quarterback, Ryan Ryan Shepard's a heck of a record-setting quarterback here in Illinois and for Maroa. They've just been putting different types of pressure on him, giving him different fronts, and also secondary-wise giving him different looks, forcing him to go to his second read as opposed to his first read.
Ryan Shepard, all-state quarterback in 2A. And understand this, over the last 2 seasons coming into this game, he had an 86-4 touchdown to interception ratio over the last 2 years. In this game, no touchdowns, 1 interception.
He's had tremendous statistics coming into this game for his career. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, for the ball game, just this year, he had 3,100 yards throwing the ball and 41 touchdowns. And somebody would say, well, is that a misprint? No, he had 41 touchdown passes. But Wilmington has really studied that tape, I guess.
Onside kick out of the gate and beautifully received by Declan Morin. And that's the way the second half starts. I mean, it's probably not a surprise that they kicked the onside kick. That's probably something that they prepared for coming out of the half. But the way that they were able to receive that kick and the way Declan Morin fell on it, that was pretty textbook.
Well, a combination of what you just said, Marshall. They weren't surprised by it. But the thing was, if it doesn't work, look where Wilmington has the ball. And they've been so effective with their offense through the entire first half. Now they got the ball at midfield.
Billy Moore comes in, 6 rushes, 105 yards, and a touchdown in the first half. A big reason. Head coach Jeff Reentz said he was our special little ingredient in the first half as they got out to a 35-0 lead. Let's see what they do to start this off. It's a handoff to... And the ball's on the field. It's still loose, being picked up and covered, I believe, by Maroa-Forsyth. So Ryan Kettman fumbles on the first carry of the third quarter. And the turnovers, which had all been in favor of Wilmington in the first half, go the other way to start this third quarter, and that might be a sign.
Well, it's a fresh start. Maroa can look at it and say, let's win the second half. There's teams that have scored 36 points. If they scored 35 in the first half, why can't we score 36 in the second half?
That would, of course, also require to get some stops and take another look. He may have been down when that ball came out, but, of course, there's no replay here at the high school level. So we play on 1st and 10 for Maroa-Forsyth. And now Ryan Shepard goes back to work, trying to have a more efficient second half than what we saw in the first. Here, off the fake handoff to Jordan Waters. Shepard keeps it himself, gets across the 40. It's a pickup of 2.
They're trying to slow down the pressure that he's been getting by running that little quarterback draw there. But, you know, they're in a situation right now where they've got to keep their poise, and they need to get a good drive here. That would really change the momentum a little bit here if they get a decent drive after that nice stop and recovering that fumble.
Now 2nd and 8 from the 40. This time the pitch on the option, getting across the 40 now to the 44-yard line before being taken down is Jordan Waters.
Now there's 2 plays right there that were not run at all in the first half. So you can see they made some adjustments in the second half. Little option right here that they're running, trying to get to the outside, trying to see if Wilmington has got their discipline enough to take their assignment. Somebody's got the quarterback, somebody's got the pitch back. And on the first play prior to that, they run the quarterback draw because they're looking for those linebackers to drop out. They're hoping they can get the ball up inside. So they've made a few adjustments at halftime.
So here on a 3rd and 4, it doesn't necessarily have to be a passing situation. Here he is rolling to his left and overshooting his man, Caden Birmingham, and that'll force a 4th and 4, and you would think they would go for it.
I think they will. You know, that coaching decision is just a glance at the scoreboard, and that kind of tells you what you're going to do.
Taking another look at this, rolling to his left and just kind of flipping. Didn't really get his feet set on that.
Toughest pass in the world for a right-handed quarterback is sprinting and rolling to your left because you got to flip your body around and get that left shoulder downhill. You don't want to throw across your body when you're going to your left.
Okay, so we have a 4th and 4. They're 1 for 2 on 4th downs. Back in the shotgun. Here's Shepard going up top, looking for Birmingham again. This time he comes down with it. Great job over Billy Moore. We saw that play early in this game, and it went the other way with a Billy Moore interception. But this time, Birmingham pulls it down and moves the chains, and a big pickup for Maroa-Forsyth.
That's been their bread and butter all year long, and that's what you normally see from Maroa, is that kind of look.
Shepard back to work. He'll try another shot to bury him. This time overshoots him. Let's go downstairs to Kate Constable. Kate?
Guys, I talked to Maroa-Forsyth head coach Josh Jostis coming out of the half, and he told me they just had some uncharacteristic plays in the first half. Ryan Shepard having an interception. That doesn't happen often. The muff snapped before the punt, resulting in a Wilmington touchdown. That doesn't happen often. He said Wilmington's a good team, but let's not beat ourselves.
Nice hit laid out that time as the defense was there from Nate Couples on the intended receiver. Declan Shannon cannot come down with that.
Jeff Reitz is doing a nice job with this secondary. You can see how fast they close on the ball right here. That safety coming over, but they're right on the ball. And this is just a combination of having good athletes in the secondary and looking at a lot of film and making adjustments on certain routes.
So now 3rd and 10, all of that to be in another 3rd and long situation. We know they've struggled on 3rd downs. They converted their, or actually they didn't convert their last one, went to a 4th down. Now pressure coming, and coming up with a huge sack is Declan Morin. And he brought the pain, and Ryan Shepard did not see that coming.
Well, he was looking to his left, and the pressure's coming from the backside right there. And this is what you're taught to do. Go after the quarterback high so he doesn't release the ball. You go after the legs, he can still throw the football. But quarterback never saw him coming because he's looking towards the ball, and it was coming from the pressure was coming from the backside.
So now 4th and 20. The Wilmington defense now with a sack to go along with their 3 tackles for a loss. They're going for it. Got a bunch on the right side, 2 to the left. Back, here comes the pressure up the middle, rolling to his right, and then letting it fly, and that one falls in between 2 receivers. Not even sure who it was intended for, but it's incomplete regardless. It's a turnover on downs, and Wilmington takes over a 35-0 lead and a chance to add to that here in the IHSA 2A state title game.
Hi, I'm Jason Bow with Bob Ridings in Taylorville. Visit us at bobridings.com from now till the end of the month. Select your next car. Fill out the online form for $200 off our already low prices now through the end of the month.
May your days be merry and bright, and your gifts full of the sweetest sparkle. This holiday season, make every moment shine a little brighter with something truly special from Flora Gems. From brilliant diamonds to one-of-a-kind treasures, Flora Gems is your destination for gifts that leave them speechless. Celebrate the magic of the season with a gift that sparkles from the heart, because the best thing under the Christmas tree is a diamond from Flora Gems.
At Bob Riding Ford Service Center in Taylorville, we offer 16 name brands of tires. One of the advantages of buying tires from us is Ford service rebates, military and first responder discounts. We also have lifetime free rotation and free balancing. Only at Bob Riding Service Center in Taylorville.
Back here at Hancock Stadium, site of the Class 2A state final between Wilmington and Maroa-Forsyth, all Wildcats up 35-0 on the Trojans. And the Trojans just had an opportunity to make something happen, but got back in those long 3rd and 4th down and long situations, and it was too much for them to overcome.
Well, the defense has just been outstanding for Wilmington. The offense is obvious by looking at the scoreboard, but their defense has been just so impressive. The linebackers, the secondary, and the rush contain on Ryan has been outstanding. It's just a super job.
Taking a look at Billy Moore and Declan Morin, he's been impressive as a linebacker. 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a sack. He has been one of the key contributors to a defense that has done something no other team has been able to do to Maroa-Forsyth this season. That's hold them scoreless.
Well, Declan Moore, you know, he also during the season had 18 tackles for loss. So it tells you it's just not a freak thing for him coming in this ball game and having this kind of a ball game. He's also had 1 interception. Now, he's only the 2nd leading tackler on the team. Zach Olin is the team leader with 80, but he had 19 tackles for loss. So that kind of shows you all year long what Wilmington has done. They've put a lot of pressure on the defensive or the offensive backs and or quarterbacks of the opposing teams, because they put, when you have that many tackles for loss from two different defensive players, you know that there's a lot of pressure being put.
So now we see what Wilmington's offense does on its second chance. Second bite of the apple, at least here in the second half. They turned it over the first, and now straight back and on the move and on the run is Ryan Kettman, and now he's showing you why he is an all-stater. Ryan Kettman explodes on the first play from scrimmage. That's a 61-yard touchdown run. And Wilmington right back where they have been most of this game.
That kind of gives you an idea of his during the season. Here's just a little toss sweep. He gets bodies out in front of him, finds that seam, turns the speed on. He's averaged throughout the year 13 yards a carry. And some of the reason for that high average is because when you have runs like that, he averages about 120 yards a game on only 9 carries. So that shows you how dominant the offense has been all year long for Wilmington.
Ryan Kettman has had 2 carries this half. One was fumbled. One went for 61 yards in the score. That's called variety.
Yeah.
Extra point is up. It's good. It's a 42-0 Wildcats lead, and that means the running clock is going to be a factor. So some news here from Illinois State and Hancock Stadium. We've got a nice quadruple header for you that we're almost halfway through, but tomorrow we will not have a second quadruple header as games 5A through 8A, they have been postponed because Illinois State University is shutting down because of severe weather ahead. They're talking about somewhere between 6 inches to a foot of snow, and it's going to come down fast and furious overnight. And so they've made the choice out of an abundance of caution to shut down the university. And of course, if the university is shut down, we can't have football here tomorrow. We're waiting to find word on what they will do with those 4 remaining games, which I know a lot of people are excited to see tomorrow, but you'll just have to wait a little bit longer, extending the high school football season, Jack.
Well, the other part of that is, even if they had the game, let's say, hypothetically, and the campus was open, it would have cut down on so many people coming down here because a lot of those teams are up by the Chicago area, and you're talking about a 2-hour drive. And if the highways are that covered in snow, it wouldn't be a safe drive, obviously, for them to come. So, you know, you give a lot of credit to Illinois State, and I also give a lot of credit to the IHSA for going along with that. And they're going to have to scramble right now, and nobody can do a better job than IHSA of finding things and finding ways of getting those championship games in.
Talk about that more in just a moment, but first this kickoff going back the way of Maroa-Forsyth on the return and knocked out about the 30-yard line on that play is Gunnar Larner. Scratch that. That was actually Braden Lee on the return. So it'll be 1st and 10 here for Maroa-Forsyth as they try to cut into what's now a running clock and a 42-0 lead. And in the announcement in which the IHSA just put out, they say the IHSA is currently working with ISU leadership to determine the dates and times of the remaining state title games. The games will not be played on Sunday, November 30th. The postponement of the IHSA football state finals is unprecedented in the playoffs' 51-year history. Quick hitter bobbled and then grabbed that time by Caden Birmingham. So a first down, quick strike to start this drive for the Trojans.
Nice concentration on that catch. Good delivery of the football. You can see right there the DBs are right on task, but you got to give a lot of credit to the receiver showing that concentration, knowing he's about to be hit.
So out now to the 42-yard line. And now 1st and 10 is Maroa-Forsyth tries to get reestablished. Here's Shepard. He's got time to throw, rolling to his right now. Gets it back over and nicely broken up that time by Nate Couples, who's been able to be a disruptor on several occasions, that time on Declan Shannon.
It's hard to believe when you look at the scene that we have right here, as far as blue skies, and 30-degree temperature that we're going to have a snowstorm tomorrow and it's going to be canceled and you wouldn't even be able to see this field tomorrow.
From our vantage point, there's not a cloud in the sky right now, Jack. Not a cloud in the sky, and yet we know that this time tomorrow it should be a virtual whiteout.
Just a, you know, historic moment for here, never to have had this happen before.
And now on 2nd and 10, here's Shepard. Gets it up and ahead to Troy Pulliam, who pulls it in across the 50-yard line. Big pickup of 9 on the play.
Feel really bad for the teams that are supposed to participate tomorrow. Can you imagine the letdown that they're having that kind of a shock, somebody calling them on the phone, telling their coaches, and then all of a sudden you got to tell the players we're not going to play tomorrow in the state championship game.
More time for preparation, though, right, if you're the coaches? And now this pass, just throwing it away, is Shepard on that one. And I think, to your point, though, it is a lot of adrenaline, like building where you want to call it emotion and adrenaline, anxiety, whatever, to get to this point where you are playing one last game. It's your last game. Think about the seniors. It's just their last game, period. And now not knowing what's going to happen.
Cheerleaders got to pay attention here. They just got a football in their pom-poms.
They seem to be okay. 2nd and 10 now. Quick throw, bobbled, might have been deflected, but incomplete ultimately.
Those receivers are taking some real hits anytime they're in between the hash marks of Wilmington's defense. He throws that ball in the middle of the field. Those safeties close quickly. That secondary has been very impressive as far as not only pass defense, but then their tackling ability in the open field.
Grady Rose, the intended receiver on that drive. The clock continues to run again. Wildcats up by 40-plus points, and in IHSA, if you're up 40 in the second half of the game, the clock continues to run. So we had that in the previous game in 1A and now in 2A. Here's Shepard, pressure coming, trying to get the screen off. Instead, it was almost intercepted. Flags come out everywhere. 3 different flags come out, so I'm guessing they all saw the same thing.
It'll be interesting what this call is. It could be downfield, lineman downfield.
I think that's what it is.
Or interference. It's tough to see, tough to tell.
Officials will talk it out.
Still trying to comprehend that historic call for tomorrow.
So, I mean, you've been involved in high school athletics in Illinois for how many years?
Too many to talk about.
Downfield on the offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
I've been in games where there's been snowstorms where they've actually had to come out and shovel snow off the markers and those type of things, but never in a scenario, and I mean it, where there's been a lot of snow, where there's been real cold, all kinds of weather situations, but never a case like this. And there's a reason for it, because this is really an away game when you think about it, and the roads, how they're going to be, and closing the campus. You don't have any choices.
Shepard under distress, throws it away, intended for Caden Blanc, but he throws that out of bounds. That'll bring up a 4th and 15. Again, the clock continues to run. Wilmington up 42-0, and Maroa-Forsyth just trying to get something going.
Well, it's a tough thing to get something going now with this kind of a situation. The other part of this is, you know, logistically for tomorrow, all the different things that you've got to do, the hotel rooms, the buses, you know, the hotels and the restaurants and all those things that you've prepped for, all got to be changed now.
Play clock continues to run. Now the play clock is off. They reset it. So now for the punt, Isaiah Bowman. He will kick this one out, lands inside the 25, takes a non-bounce, and that's where it will be down by Grady Rose. Time for us to step away. 42-0, Wilmington in charge of Maroa-Forsyth here in the IHSA Class 2A state final.
Every great team starts with trust, the kind of trust that builds over time. For 50 years, Country Financial has teamed up with IHSA in our communities. And for 100 years, we've protected you with insurance that does more. From the best times to the tough ones, a great team's got your back when it matters most. Thanks for your trust for 100 years. Here's to 100 more. Country Financial. Experience more.
Taking a look at Friday's championship schedule so far, Lena Winslow, a 58-13 win over Brown County to become the 1A state champions. Right now, Wilmington holding it down against Maroa-Forsyth. They're up 42-0 here in the third quarter. Coming up next in 3A, Tolono Unity against Byron, and then the 4A championship is our nightcap, Rochester against Montini. Those should be a couple of good ones coming up. Wish this game was maybe a little bit more competitive, but it's been actually kind of fascinating to watch just how dominant Wilmington has been against a Maroa-Forsyth team that's been able to put up points all year.
Well, in our open, we talked about the diversity of the two offenses. One throwing the ball, one runs the ball, one doesn't care about the clock, and the other one does. And now it's come to fruition who has been the dominant one. And, you know, the thing is, you know, Aurora has had a great season coming into this. They just run into a buzzsaw today.
Against Wilmington, coming into this game, had given up 15 points in 4 playoff games and up the middle and leaning forward for about 8 yards on the play, maybe 9.
Maroa's been dominant all year long. They've averaged in their 13 games coming into this game 43 points a game and giving their opponents 16. And again, sometimes statistics can be askew.
So that was Dane Van Deen on that carry, and then he gets 8 yards. Now we've had a substitution, not just at running back, but also quarterback, as Bryson Means has stepped in with 2 minutes and change left here in the third quarter. And now he'll lean forward. Did he get out far enough? Perhaps. See what the referees say. They will say it's a first down. So a 2-yard pickup. Let's go downstairs to Kate Constable. Kate.
Guys, just a kind of a fun, quirky little story on the Maroa-Forsyth sideline here. Head coach Josh Jost said that he's probably one of the most neurotic coaches you've ever met when it comes to superstitions. He lays out his entire outfit and his shoes a week in advance before a game, and it's usually an outfit that he's had success in earlier in the season. He's also a huge Jordan fan. He's rocking the Blueberry 12s today. 13 of the 22 coaches on the sideline here are wearing them today, and they're hoping that it can bring them a little bit more luck.
Thanks, Kate. Has not been the case so far on the carry to the outside. Jay Nevels gets tackled. There's a look at those Blueberry 12s. What's your favorite Jordan? What number?
The Blueberry 10s.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. And so I can't wait to see you the next time we meet. That's tomorrow. You're waiting until tomorrow to bring those out?
I'm concerned about security when I wear those.
Yeah. Gotta worry about that.
You've heard of hijackings. Have you ever heard of shoejackings?
I actually have. Unfortunately, it sounds like I'm going to have to wait several days to see you in them because, of course, tomorrow's games are postponed. So you got that going for you. You might pick out a different pair to wear tomorrow's. Back up the middle in a cluster. But not much gain there for Wilmington. As another carry that time for Dane Van Deen. Excuse me, Van Dyne. Final seconds running off the clock here.
We've had some nice crowds here. When you look at the visiting side over there with, or the home side actually, Wilmington with the new stadium, but on this side with Maroa, we've had some excellent crowds with this 1A and 2A games. The other thing I'd like to do is, again, shout out to these officials in this ball game 2A. All the officials down here have earned the right to participate in these games by being selected during the year.
That'll do it for the third quarter. Wilmington out in front comfortably, 42-0 on Maroa-Forsyth. We're back with the fourth quarter of action as the Wildcats march on towards a state championship. You're watching the 2A state title game.
Every day in Central Illinois, extraordinary stories are unfolding. Join us for Celebrating Central Illinois on WCIA3 News. Discover the remarkable people who inspire us, the hidden gems in our neighborhoods, and the traditions that unite us all. From touching moments to incredible achievements, we're shining a spotlight on the stories that matter in our community. Celebrating Central Illinois on WCIA3. Sponsored by U of I Community Credit Union and the McDonald Group.
Dear moms and dads, we know it's not always been easy, and it's been a lot of hard work. What you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas. Everything I do it for you. Mom, love you always. No, it's true. Everything I do it for you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
The holidays are here. From stocking stuffers to showstoppers, the best local gifts are right here in Central Illinois. We're showcasing local shops and uncovering unique gift ideas in our Holiday Gift Guide special. It's holiday shopping made easy.
Watch CI Living's Holiday Gift Guide Special Wednesday, December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. on WCIA3. Sponsored by Hardy's Reindeer Ranch, Out of the Blue Polish Pottery and Gifts, and Hada Med Spa.
Friday weekend at your local Ashley. We're back with the defensive play of the game, brought to you by Union Carpenters and Contractors, partners in building communities and supporting working families. First drive of the game, a tone setter, if you will, Billy Moore undercutting Caden Birmingham and intercepting Ryan Shepard, just his third interception against 41 touchdowns all year. What a play.
What a play, and really set the tempo, as you mentioned. And the thing was that psychologically, that didn't help Shepard at all, having that pass picked off. But it certainly was a big omen for Wilmington defensively. They've had a great game defensively. I've been more impressed with them defensively. I expected the offense, but I really didn't expect them to be so good defensively.
They have been great in this one. One of the reasons why we have a running clock here for the fourth quarter. Wilmington with a chance to add to it, although it's a 3rd and 9 situation for a team that does not pass the football.
Or punt too often.
Yes, they don't like to punt, they don't like to pass. They like to run 5 wide. And here, the double wing T, and swallowed up whole in the backfield that time. As a big play made by Waylon Buss. Finds his way to the football. Freshman gets this to done. So that creates a 4th and 11.
Well, that was a big play twice for Billy Moore earlier in the ball game, but it wasn't a big play here.
So now they're back to punt. First punt of the game.
Reiner.
It's going to take a bounce and continue to be downed. And that will set them up at 1st and 10 after Caleb Rouse successfully downs the punt on the other side of the field. So pretty good starting field position as the clock continues to run here.
I had an interesting, when I first came down here to do my first state championship game, this was before, it was at Illinois State, but the field was crowned so dramatically that when you went from one hash mark to the sideline, you were actually going downhill for the receivers. It was just incredibly dramatic, the crown that they had in the field between the hash marks to the sideline.
Here on the keeper and immediately wrapped up in the backfield and thrown down. Good defense that time. Travis Van Dyne And trying to keep it and go somewhere with it was Zane Freitag.
It ran that play earlier with the kind of the quarterback trap, if you will.
Now on the way, it's Birmingham. Gets out close to the 44. So Ron Shepard able to get it out to Cade Birmingham. That's been a common thing all season long. It just hasn't been as productive today as it has been in games past.
Exactly. That's one of their favorite plays, is the quick screen on the outside. But Wilmington has really stuffed that play extremely well. They haven't really been able to throw it that often. That's probably about only the third time or fourth time at most that they've actually been able to throw that outside.
Here's Shepard on 3rd and 5, looking for some running room. Doesn't find it. Gets taken down, swallowed whole. Bryson Meats brings him down for the sack.
Jeff Reitz really needs to pat his defensive coordinator on the back and tell him what a great job he's done in preparation for this very explosive offense that they were going to be seeing coming into this ball game. Of course, Jeff would be patting himself on the back because he's the defensive coordinator.
He is the one who calls the plays. He's got a good thing going in Wilmington. You mentioned it earlier. 3 coaches who have been together a long time, 30 decades plus. Now on a 4th and 6 from his own 43-yard line. Here's Shepard. He'll complete it out to Pulliam, who's still on the run. Troy Pulliam headed to the end zone. It's a touchdown. A 57-yard strike. Catch and run, emphasis on the run from Pulliam.
Well, it's always good to see the fact that you don't get shut out in the state championship game. I'm thrilled to see that touchdown. I hope there's a couple more for him.
This 4th quarter touchdown brought to you by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU. That's SIU Carbondale. Take another look here. As I said, there's more run than catch, but you got to complete it before you can run it.
That's right. You always talk about the yak. What does he do after the catch? Yards after catch. And this is sometimes how quarterbacks get the big yardage. And in this case, that's exactly what's happened here for Ryan Shepard. And his receivers can get that kind of yardage after a catch.
So here's Lucas Klein for the extra point. That's going to come up short. Misfiring there. So it'll remain 42-6, but Maroa-Forsyth is finally on the board. The Trojans have scored. It's all Wilmington, though, big picture-wise, but Troy Pulliam makes sure his name is stated on this day. We'll be back with more of the 4th quarter after this.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of solutions. Capture this moment and go forward together.
It's Menards Black Friday sale. Get everything you need to bring home the holidays. From the tastiest sweet treats for your family to the perfect presents for playing with your pets and toys under the tree for the kids to tools and accessories for any project. Plus huge savings on new appliances. Menards has great gifts for everyone in your family. Hurry in. These Black Friday deals won't last long.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Time now for the Menards play of the game after the bad snap on the punt. Will Wilson says, I can pick up the ball, and does so. Gets the touchdown. It's the Menards play of the game. Save big money on all your home improvement needs with Menards. And what a play. Just a string of plays that really showed you how this game was going to go today.
Really has. We've seen everything. We've seen snaps over the head. We've seen interceptions. We've seen linemen scoring touchdowns. It's been a wild ball game. It's been an interesting game. Don't let that score fool you. It's been a good football game from the standpoint of plays being conducted by both offense and defense. Not necessarily by both teams, but there's been ups and downs, as the last play indicated for Maroa. They've got big play capabilities.
Ryan Kettman had the long touchdown after fumbling on his first carry in the second half. Isaiah Bowman put a ball inside the 1-yard line.
which Wilmington ran 99 yards back and scored on the ensuing drive. Oh, and now a dropped kickoff return and able to scoop it back up and now turn the corner and get some extra yardage from Maroa-Forsyth. Wilmington. Jay Nevels had some issues with that kickoff, but able to get back and get decent field position out of it.
Well, we're going to see a lot of substitutions here, giving a lot of opportunities for hopefully the seniors to play in the state championship game. And again, that's your assistant coaches being helpful, making sure that the breakdown positions, if you're the offensive line coach, that you know which seniors should go in. You're the defensive line coach, which seniors, and that takes all organization, depth charts, and those type of things to make sure that those kids get an opportunity to play in the state championship game.
Bryson Means back in at quarterback. Taking all the time they want off of the clock before snapping it. Here is the pitch. It's Travis Van Dyne who gets it out across the 35-yard line. Pickup of 3.
His brother's done a great job today at 6'1", 210, the senior tackle that has led the way for most running plays, getting out in front. I'm very impressed with the offensive linemen of Wilmington. They get out, they pull, and for big kids, they do a nice job of running, which shows you what kind of athletes they are, because they're probably also basketball players and wrestlers. And in many cases, there's a handful of baseball players out there also.
That is the case with this group. 42-6, trying to add to it, breaking free across the 45 now on this carry.
These kids could run this offense in their sleep at Wilmington.
So it's a pickup by Jay Nevels.
You don't see too many mechanical breakdowns with Wilmington when they run their offense, as far as miss handoffs or any of those type of things, because they don't run a ton of plays, but the plays they do run are so very effective.
All the teams that we've seen so far today have been well-disciplined, well-coached. You can tell how they got here, not just with talent, but also with what they've been able to do. As another handoff on the inside, and just kind of goes 4 to 5 yards standard at a minimum as Nevels carries that one out. Gets it out to midfield.
It's in the state championship game. You always feel bad when a team has what maybe their worst game of the season to play it in the state championship game, and on the other hand, their opponent has their best game of the season, and you have these running clocks. It's tough. It's tough for anybody that's been involved in football for a long time, because you know how the coaching staffs have worked very hard all year long, and of course the kids have worked for 4 years to get to this point, and you'd love to see a closer game, 1-point, 2-point game.
Now breaking out to the outside, still on his feet inside the 40 this time, is Travis Van Dyne. So Van Dyne with another carry for a first down to the 39-yard line.
Not a lot of people coming into your living room there. It's kind of bunched up shoulder to shoulder. They're just using that surge of that line. Get in behind them, and you'll get an easy 3 or 4 yards. That's all they want. When you're kind of running this offense, the crucial part of it is, let's make sure we get 4 yards. Anything after that is just gravy. But they've had a lot of gravy today.
A lot of gravy, a lot of drives where they didn't necessarily need a bunch of third down conversions, as this pitch goes back to Van Dyne. It's like about a 2-yard pickup down to the 37, 2nd and 8. And that clock continues running. Really, at this point, you just want to keep your guys healthy. It's the last game of the season. The outcome is not in doubt. And with the running clock, they can just continue to run 3 or 4 yards at a time.
You want to just make sure, as I mentioned, that you want to get these kids into the ball game. This is not like the first game. If it was the first game running clock, you're not all that concerned about the substitutions. But in the state championship game, there's just more to it. Just the term state championship, you can say you played in it.
Here's the handoff. This time it's Nevels. Up ahead, inside the 30. Just turning away
The clock turns, the chains move, and we get closer and closer to the end of the 2A state final. Again, this Wilmington team, 12-1 on the season. They're 3-1 all-time in state title games. They lost last year to Montini Catholic in the semifinals, what ended their, at the time, undefeated season.
You know what I'd be interested in? Just watching this offense. How would they do against Lena Winslow? Lena Winslow runs the same basic offense. These two teams played each other. Be kind of interesting to see what the score would be and how they would be affected, because they both played good defense. They both got good offenses, and they're both going to be state champions.
It is interesting because a lot of these schools are either about the same size or there's a barely over the success factor after a couple of years. You've seen teams do well in both 1A, 2A, 3A, that kind of range. And listen, the most impressive part about the two games we've done today is all of the coaching experience and understanding that you're not talking about a football team, but a football program.
Exactly.
When you look at all of these schools that have gotten to this point, it's like this pretty much every year. To get to this point at this size of a school, you got to have something going for a long time.
And these teams, if you also look too, maybe they're not in the state championship game, but look how many times they're in the semis or the quarters, getting relatively close, not losing in the first round, but getting close to the end of getting here. Those are the teams that end up getting more because they're playing 12 games a year. That gives you a lot more coaching towards the next season with some of those younger kids.
Now 3rd and 4 from the 24-yard line. Clock now under 2 minutes to play. Taking their time, making sure it gets under 10 seconds every time before they run a play. 397 yards rushing so far. And that's the total offense. And now they will take a knee. And the clock will continue to run, play clock going. So 4th and 5 from the 25. See if they run this play or not.
All these teams today are going to be saying, look, we got our games in, you know, when it comes to Friday and Saturday, and unfortunately history being made tomorrow by having those games canceled. But all these people today will be saying, well, we got our games in on that Friday of championship weekend.
I think less of the dread right now is not the postponement itself, which is understandable, but not knowing what's next.
Exactly. Very much so. Good point.
So we wait to see what happens. Again, if you missed the announcement, the 5A through 8A games scheduled for tomorrow have been postponed as Illinois State University's campus will be closed down because of severe weather expected overnight and through the day Saturday. And that is the final play of this game. The Wilmington Wildcats, a 42-6 winner over Maroa-Forsyth to take home the IHSA Class 2A State Championship. Final seconds running off. The celebration, though, has already begun. Can't count down to that. Now the two teams will meet at midfield. Ceremonial handshake, sign of good sportsmanship here at the IHSA State Final as the clock goes final. We'll be back to talk about a championship for Wilmington over Maroa-Forsyth. You're watching the IHSA Championship Final Score brought to you by Delta Dental of Illinois.
This is the Run My Own Business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
Every day we make choices. Some may seem small, but they add up. In moments of pressure, one decision can set the path. That choice follows you to school, your focus, your future. To your passions, your opportunities, the things that make you, you. One choice can change your path. Choose you. Make the choice that moves you forward.
Generation Lead, empowering athletes, inspiring leaders. For more information, visit generationlead.org. The IHSA Football State Finals are presented to you in part by Country Financial. Worry less and feel more confident with insurance designed to meet your specific needs. Visit countryfinancial.com to experience more today.
Back with the final score here in the 2A state title game, 42-6, Wilmington over Maroa-Forsyth. The final score brought to you by Delta Dental of Illinois. A dominant performance by Wilmington to capture another state championship. Let's go downstairs to Kate Constable, who's with the player of the game, Billy Moore.
Billy, 105 yards, a touchdown, almost 400 yards of total offense for your team, and your offensive line opened up some big holes. How much of a team effort was this today?
Oh, that's all it was. It was just the whole team effort. Everyone doing their job, the whole team, everyone blocking, everyone going to their assignments, doing their job.
You won a state title 2 years ago as a sophomore. Last year knocked out in the playoffs. Won now this year. How satisfying is this win?
It's a dream come true. It's really all I've been dreaming for a long time. I say I'm pretty satisfied.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll bring in your head coach over here.
Hey, buddy.
Coach, tell me about this guy's performance today, Billy.
Hey, I tell you what, he was really good. I think when you look at our offense, we have a number of backs that we think we can turn to. Ryan Schreger, a fullback today, turned out to be another good one for us, but Billy was the one that really got us going. Him keeping it on our bootleg sweeps was something that I think really opened up our offense today, and obviously really happy for our community, our school, and Billy had a heck of a day.
You told me earlier in the week that state was always the expectation this year, but you guys didn't talk about it week to week. Instead, it was just about being 1-0. Yeah. How does it feel to be 1-0 this week?
I tell you what, it feels really good, really good. We beat a very good program in Maroa. I know they were down a little bit with some injuries and things along those lines, but for us to beat their program is a feather in our cap because of the respect we have for them. And for our kids, like you said, being 1-0 on this weekend today is something very special, and just real happy for our program.
Ryan Kettman, Billy Moore, this senior class, what are you going to miss most about them?
Just, and a lot of great teams have this. They're tight on and off the field. They're great not only on the football field, but in our hallways at school. They make our school better, and that's the toughest thing about today is we got to say goodbye, and this is our last time together. But if you're going to do it down here and do it right now. So I'm really happy for those guys.
Well, Coach, thank you. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Kate. Time now for our Player of the Game, brought to you by Country Financial. Visit countryfinancial.com to experience more today. It's Billy Moore doing it on both sides of the ball. He did it early on defense to set the tone, and then he got under center and says, watch what I can do with the ball in my hands at the start of a play. 6 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown for Billy Moore on the biggest stage of his career.
Allowed him to run that bootleg down the sideline into the end zone for a touchdown. Great game, both offensively and defensively.
42-6, Wilmington, a 2A state champion with a win over Maroa-Forsyth. As we take a look at the ceremonies, where both of these teams who fought so hard to get here will be rewarded with trophies. A second-place trophy for Maroa-Forsyth and the Trojans. What a season for them, even though things didn't end the way they wanted today.
Well, you have to have a great season to get here, and that's exactly what they have. They have a great program, a great coach. They'll be back. They've been here many times before, and I'm sure they're going to be back here in the next several years.
And so Maroa-Forsyth celebrating with a second-place trophy, as they have done many times before. Certainly, you look at the success that Josh Joseph has had. This is his 26th season. They've been to the state title game now 14 times. Unfortunately, 2-12 in those instances, but they do have the 2 championships to celebrate. But just getting here that many times shows you how consistent they have been, kids in, kids out.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And it's one of those things where you run into a team like today. Wilmington just had it. This was their probably, obviously in 14 games, this is the best game they've played all year long.
So the team being recognized right now, led by Ryan Shepard, 5'10", 181 pounds, senior captain
Caden Birmingham, another senior captain, along with Troy Pulliam and D'Angelo Owen. Also Zach Oland, another captain for this team. They're losing some big playmaking seniors. Are being rewarded today as they get ready to receive that second place trophy.
You know, when you look at the schedules of both of these teams, this often is the case with 1A and 2A, the smaller schools, because of the scheduling issues. They sometimes have to play two teams twice. And they'll see them during the regular season, and they'll see them in the playoffs. They don't always have the greatest competition that they have to play against to get here. And then they run into some tough competition here. And, you know, the result of that is the scoreboard. But both of these teams had tough schedules this year. Certainly Wilmington did, but if you look at Maroa, what they had to do, same with the 1A. Some of those teams played former state champions, and that's what they do in those schedules. If we had to put the schedules up earlier, you'd say, I recognize all those teams from past years of winning the state championship or being in the state championship game.
Certainly, the names become familiar if you follow high school football in the state, because even if the schools aren't from your area, you hear them often enough, you understand, oh, that is a team that gets it done every year, because they're always in this discussion. Whether you're talking about, you know, a few weeks ago when we do the playoff pairing show, we announce who the top seeds are in each class, and understanding that even when teams move from time to time, as they finally get their hands on that second place trophy the Trojans do, that, you know, you can make a name for yourself and help build a legacy for a school that lasts well beyond the 4 years you're there.
Well, look at these two coaches. One has been at school for 29, the other for 26. These guys know each other. They see each other during the wintertime at various football clinics. They talk to each other, and I don't know, but they might possibly be friends. But you know, they're still coaching peers, and they have great respect for each other because they've had great programs.
We were on conference calls earlier this week. A certain level of respect with the opposing coach, because they understand that, hey, to get here is not easy to do, and understanding whether it's your first time, and usually it's not a coach's first time here, it takes something to build a program that sustains.
All the football coaches in the state of Illinois, it's a long season because it starts in the summertime. In most cases, it usually starts in January. You get the kids off for a while, and then you start in the weight room in January. And so it's a long time.
That journey is complete for Wilmington as they hoist up the Class 2A state championship for 2025. We'll be back with final thoughts after this.
The IHSA Football State Finals are brought to you in part by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs. And by SIU Carbondale. Say yes to SIU.
It's Menards Black Friday sale. Get everything you need to bring home the holidays. From the tastiest sweet treats for your family to the perfect presents for playing with your pets and toys under the tree for the kids to tools and accessories for any project. Plus huge savings on new appliances. Menards has great gifts for everyone in your family. Hurry in. These Black Friday deals won't last long.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Imagine going from the classroom to the big stage.
This territory, this place, our home, isn't just for learning, but for understanding the very power of what imagination actually means.
A place where you can go from player to coach, from the ground to the sky.
So close your eyes, envision the roar that is a spirit of thousands of silly beats. Capture this moment and go forward together.
Want a great career? Join the Carpenters Union and be part of the next generation building our communities. With the Carpenters Union Career Connections program, high school students get a head start on the industry's leading curriculum. Learn the latest in construction technology and the many skilled crafts the Carpenters Union represents. Plus, earn as you learn. Receive a nice paycheck, health insurance benefits, and best of all, no college debt. Ask your school district to participate in the Career Connections program and get started on your future.
I'm a proud man. So asking my son to help me bathe, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Walk-in tubs give you independence and peace of mind with low step-in doors, slip-resistant floors, soothing hydrotherapy jets, and fast drain technology.
Now I don't need anybody's help.
I've got my dignity back.
1-833-304-0361. 1-833-304-0361.
Back at Hancock Stadium, final score 42-6 Wilmington over Maroa-Forsyth in the 2A state championship game. It's been a pleasure. The coach, Jack McInerney, Marshall Harris, getting you through the 1A and 2A state title games, and this one was great.
Outstanding. I was so impressed with Wilmington offensively and defensively. Really an outstanding state championship game.
For more on this quadruple header coming, we go back to our studios in Chicago. Again, the final 42-6 Wilmington, a state champion. Guys?
Thanks so much, Marshall. A dominant win by Wilmington, coming up 42-6, nearly forced a shutout here. Your quick reaction to just their demeanor of play?
Yeah, just came out on a mission right out of the get-go, and again, you talked about Billy Moore with some big plays early, and it just built up that momentum. And defensively, Wilmington did a great job. So just overall, dominant all three phases.
Very dominant, as you said, across the board. More on that game in a minute. But first, the biggest news coming out of the IHSA right now about tomorrow's game. The state finals scheduled for tomorrow for the Class 5A through 8A have been postponed due to the winter storm warning issued by the National Weather Service for Central Illinois, including the Bloomington Normal area. They're calling for 5 to 12 inches of heavy snow, strong winds, hazardous roads, and potentially impossible travel. The IHSA has postponed all Saturday football state championship games. That's the 5A, 6A, 7A, and 8A games that were originally slated. The storm is expected to be massive. It's expected to create dangerous conditions on the roads, bridges, overpasses, with the potential for power outages. The safety of student athletes, coaches, officials, and spectators remains the IHSA's highest priority. We'll keep you updated on the status of those rescheduled games. Edgy, this is massive news, and it's a big wrench thrown in the plans for all these players. Of course, safety is the most important thing, but what do you expect this to do to the mentality of the players who were gearing up, going through their routines, getting prepared to play tomorrow, and now they're just going to have to sit and wait?
It's a great question. No doubt in my mind, the IHSA made the correct decision. You have fans traveling, you have people, kids going down there. You have to look out for the safety and welfare of the athletes, the coaches, and the fans, and really everyone involved. So there's no question now. When we're going to play, we'll find that out as soon as we know. We will update you and let you know. Unprecedented. We'll see. You got to roll with the punches here at IHSA, and that's what we're going to do.
You've been doing this over 30 years, and you've never seen anything like this, have you?
No, and look, we're big, tough football people. We'll play in anything, but you got to be smart about it, and IHSA is definitely being smart about it.
Especially with the crowds that these teams are drawing for the state finals. That travel component is huge. And then, of course, all the conditions out on the field. So we'll keep you posted as we get more updates there about tomorrow's game. But first, we'll get into some more highlights from the 2A state championship. The Wilmington Wildcats hoisting that trophy. Coach Jeff Reen's 4th title, now in his 31st season.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back. You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Nice.
Being a cowboy, I don't know anything different from when I was 3 or 4 years old. I did tough things. I thought everybody needed to do tough things, and if you didn't, I didn't have time for it. I had a very successful career at a very young age, and life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally. On the inside, And then I got hurt. I wanted to be better as a person. And I really dug into mental health. I start my day with 20-minute workouts. I live life